cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that they did that.
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records ain't sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
it's one like this, it's one like this. Immaculate conception, not transform like this, perform like this. Which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate. Then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness. I just push cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got gunk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who. They want you to comply.
Hi, Fred.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Happy
Doing okay,
Thursday.
hopefully?
Doing great.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Apologies to everybody waiting for our tardiness. As you can see, we're all wearing black, which is because we came from Antifa headquarters. So, we're a little bit late. The meeting just went over and over, and we're finally out. So we're good now.
So much class consciousness. It was unreal.
Yeah. Big plans. I shouldn't say that. I'm joking. Because if something
you'll
happens,
you'll all see.
Big plan. It's the United States of America. Anything could happen. So I don't want to joke in that way, given the lists that they are now cooking up and putting leftists on. Did you all see that? So there's Hassan Piker, there is David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen, and then some celebrities like Jimmy Kimmel on this White House list of media offenders.
I saw that.
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought, damn, I'm in some ways I'm happy I'm not on it. It's a relief to not see my name there, but it's kind of a low-key diss because it's like I feel like I've earned a place on that list. And if you're going to march Hassan to the camp, thank you. If you're going to march Hassan to the camps, you better bring me too, because I've earned it. Okay, so
I will
want to
say
be
if you reported
executed
from
too.
Canada, I will let your followers know to make sure to follow me and subscribe. Hit the bell notification.
Yes, I will transfer ownership of the Humanist Report to David Dole in the event the U.S. government chooses to execute me with the other lefties. So
I will turn it into the Rational National too.
Yeah, I sell the pills. Your pill business that you sell all your the supplements and brain force and stuff. I want to get the control of that.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You'll take over all the businesses, all the crypto deals I have, my shit coins, all that, all the scams I'm running for sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, Canadians have a vested interest in making sure that the lefties are all politically persecuted just because you have a lot to gain from our absence.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's this week's news.
Can we start with something really unsettling that I just came across and I feel like I want to share it because
I'd love to.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Stuff.
As weird as things get, I'm still very confused by certain things happening. Here, let me bring this up. So this is an official account. This is just so weird.
Hello,
is that Callista Gingrich?
I'm Callista Gingrich,
the
United States Ambassador to Switzerland and Liechtenstein. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is just around the corner. 11 host cities in the U.S. are eagerly awaiting thousands of visitors for this extraordinary event. The FIFA World...
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this real or is...
No, listen, I promise you, for some reason, I am a Callista Gingrich aficionado. This is not AI. This is how she really talks, and I have more lore after this video is over. Yeah,
The
I can
Wow
confirm
brings
it's not
nations
AI.
together in a spirit of unity, fair play, and mutual respect. We look forward to welcoming you to the United States for this historic tournament.
Is she just like a head on like a? Is she just a head, a floating head, and they found a body to put her on? Like she hasn't moved at all.
Yeah, that's incredible. Actually, I don't know how the human
incredibly
body does
disturbing.
Yeah,
I thought I would share that with everybody.
So, as one of her biggest fans, this woman is an icon. So, if you go through her social media, you're going to see pictures. And for those who don't know, Callista Gingrich is the spouse of Newt Gingrich, former Republican speaker. And if you go through her social media, she will post photos of herself and Newt, and every single time she takes the effort to put like a filter on her face and Photoshop out the blemishes, and you see this aura around her, but she doesn't do the same to Newt. So the juxtaposition of their photos is very jarring because you see this like haggard old man who looks like death, and then you see this woman who's very put together and prim and proper. And I want to I feel like I need to show you this. Let me see if I could get some pictures, because these pictures, yeah, they really caught me off guard before. I'm not sure if I could find an example, but just let me go through her media feed on Twitter, because if you know anything about Callista, that is not an odd video for her. It's pretty normal, comparatively speaking. It's probably the most human she's been.
To this tweet are hilarious. I'm just here. Let's go through some. These are just. I'm dying. Great video. You look absolutely normal and human-like. Be sure to join us for a peaceful and moisturizing World Cup experience. She looks like fucking shit. Get her off my screen. Why did you have an alien make this video? I guarantee this white bitch ain't never watched a World Cup match in her life.
That's fair.
Okay. That's really good stuff.
Okay, I found immediately a ton of examples. I don't know if these are the best examples that I've seen. Hopefully I didn't like oversell it, but if you just go to her Twitter banner, you really see... Oh, hang on, let me reshare. I'm sorry about that. If you go to her Twitter banner, you can see the number one image, or the most prominent image, I should say, is of Newt looking real doo-doo-y. Fucking red ass nose, just looking all fucked up. Hang on. There we go. So like, okay. Look at how like deadly he looks compared to her.
I don't know. She looks really scary, though. That looks like,
she looks like she's the killer in the movie. Like that's,
yeah, like that's Slenderman. That's what I've come to understand.
She's
Slenderman.
wearing a face.
Yeah,
I think that's a possibility. But just notice like how clear her skin is compared to his, right? No liver spots, no everything.
He looks like a corpse. Yeah, he looks like
it's possible he's her first victim, and we are witnessing.
Maybe.
Or the other way around. It can go in both directions, right?
But then look at this. Like, she takes the time. Like, she's wearing makeup, but you can also tell that there's a filter here.
Yeah, she's spent a lot more time taking care of herself than he has, obviously.
But I mean, like, she didn't even bother to clear up any of the redness or the liver spots or his little turkey neck. Let me see. There was another one that I saw too, when they were in Israel, maybe. Oh no, I don't know. But you just see she takes the time to look good, where her husband looking very, very rough, I should say. Let me see if she does it with another woman. Yeah, she only photoshops herself. It's just it honestly is. In some ways I respect it, because it takes effort to be that narcissistic, but she's committed, man. She's really committed. So I'm glad that people are learning about Callista Gingrich. It's a hard name for me to say for some reason. I'm part of the Callista Coalition. There are dozens of us, huge fans of her, who've been following her for quite some time. And yeah, man, I'm a big Callista head, so you all should join. I might start a fan club.
I know two Callistas, Callista Flockhart and Callista Gingrich, and that's
that was the other Callista I also knew.
It's a very obscure white lady name.
It's a very obscure name.
I don't say it very much. I've never known a Callista, so I don't know. I keep fucking it up.
I know Callisto. That's
a good. That's a
the
good
guy
game
from Twisted Metal, right? Callisto.
Oh,
is that the right name?
Yeah,
I was thinking of Callisto Protocol, the video game.
Oh,
but I don't know if that's a good
reference.
game
that's
actually.
Calypso Protocol, I think.
Calypso.
Oh, I fucked
Calypso.
it up. Okay. What? Speaking of
That's
video
what I was
games, we have our first guest here. It's TTBN Gaming. How's it going?
Oh,
hi, hello, it's me.
What are the chances?
Nice to have you here. We mentioned games, and then we had to bring you in. Maybe we summoned you by mentioning games, but nice to have you here, man.
Thank you. I would have been here on time, but I was at the other Antifa meeting, but it was like for Black people only.
Oh, that's a better one.
Yeah,
so we got DEI'd up over here. Also, I wasn't expecting to get blasted by Callista Gingrich.
Our apologies for that. It's sometimes it happens. But tell everybody who you are and what you do if people aren't familiar with you.
Yeah. So, hi everyone who's unfamiliar with me. I'm TTB in Gaming. I basically try to talk about video games and how it's kind of downstream from now politics, which is weird, and how it's made everything worse. If I'm being completely honest, I only do what I do because I'm very annoyed. So I mostly talk about why grifting is bad and why it ruins everything, which has led to me being here on the Leftist Mafia of my own free will. No one forced me to be here, by the way. I'm just
You should also add though, because as someone who's watched your videos, you actually play the games, right? Like I think like one of the things we talk about this in any detail, most of the people like your Smash JTs, etc., they're tourists. I feel like they played games a lot in like the 90s, maybe the early aughts, and they loved their first Xbox or GameCube or something. And then everything was just about, is it woke, woman?
Wait, are you telling me that Master Chief was always bisexual? Because I thought that was a new thing.
Oh my god, the bisexual lighting has been some of the funniest things. That's why I specifically chose this background for my green screen today, because I played Halo and I was like, maybe I also like men now.
So people,
I'm finding it right now, David.
You're finding it, all right. One of the most insane tweets I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it's hard to top that.
What I love about this getting more, because I think even like Penny Arcade did a comic about this guy, is that people are seeing the insanity that I have been talking about for over 2 years now, just in your like oh, you can read it. I'm losing my mind if I read this again.
This is honestly crazy. This is unnecessary and intentionally signaling trans. They know what they're doing. Once you notice bisexual lighting being used, you cannot unsee it. This is intentional. I will not be gaslit. And my favorite, like always, the community notes are the best part. The circled purple area is the planet Threshold, the largest planet in the system Alpha Halo resides in. Yeah.
I love the fact that the way he phrases it is my favorite. It's not even like it's making your kids gay. It is signaling trans, capital T, as if during Pride Month is when you can summon the deity known as trans via a circular spot. In all the games, not mixtape, not anything woke in Halo. That's
right.
where the kids are going to be trans.
And it's been especially insufferable because last week, for the non-gamers in the audience, there was a bunch of different gaming events. There was Summer Games Fest, Future Games Fest, Nintendo Direct this week. There was the Xbox Showcase. And so, of course, that was it presented a lot of opportunities for the reactionaries to feign outrage about various things. Another big one that I saw was that there were a lot of right-wingers who thought that the new God of War game, God of War Laffy, featuring a female protagonist, was woke for obvious reasons because, God of War is supposed to be a male, but it follows the same story, albeit, with Kratos' wife. And it looks really fucking cool. I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm blown away. I can't wait to play this. And then, of course, I thought in my mind, because I'm that brain damaged from political discourse, oh, they're going to say something about this. And sure enough, the second I opened up Twitter, they were screeching.
Oh, we have the same brain damage. I was literally streaming that to my chat. And we all sighed because we're like, we know what's going to happen. The minute it was two games. It was that, and then it was Fable showing Haley Atwell's character. The minute I saw her face, I was like, I can hear the thumbnails, I can see the yellow text, I can see the red bold text coming through, and like without 10 minutes later, that was the discourse.
It's truly exhausting because you can't even enjoy anything anymore. These are the same people, by the way, that were once arguing, this was more during the SJW era, or the anti-SJW era, I should say, where they were like, oh my God, you just got to leave politics out of it. So stop putting queer people in and stop putting, any minorities in. And now they're basically bringing politics into everything, for lack of a better word. Something that isn't overtly political is a political thing to them, just because the mere presence of somebody from a marginalized community or anyone who's openly queer, or even if if they're not even hot enough, right?
Yeah, no, that's a lot of it. Yeah, that's so. So is this just like an algorithm thing? I feel like these are people that have found a way to make money. Most of them don't believe this shit, but they've realized that there are enough people out there who will click this garbage, and that's why we're able to like do this in our minds before they even do it themselves, because we know what their MO is. Like, if it's not a white straight male, it's going to be something that is woke. Like that's kind of the baseline. And if there's a woman and she's not this perfect like AI beautiful, then we're gonna change her face to make her look different. Like that's kind of the whole thing they do, and they keep doing it. I feel like it has to be chasing an algorithm, because why else would you be doing this?
It is, but I also think, not to get too political on the Leftist Mafia podcast, but I also think though, this is the culmination of Gamergate never truly being addressed. And I've done a couple of videos like addressing that via like how we got to Chud the Builder, or just how we got to this particular point in both politics and gaming. But you have these people who were rudderless, and they are angry, at the outcomes of capitalism, but they are so conditioned to believe that capitalism and patriarchy is their ally that they want to attack everything but that. So like going back to like God of War, their entire thing, and they try to dress up, their entire thing starts and stops with, we don't think she's hot. And then they'll try to dress up by saying, well, no, we think the actress Deborah Ann Wool is hot. But the Western game industry hates attractive women. So they intentionally made her ugly because they are feminist and they are woke. And I'm like, listen to yourselves. You are trying to convince us God of War is trying to be woke. A game that's about murdering gods is trying to, and I'm like, what is the outcome? Like, do you think now women are going to think, hey, you know what? I am gonna get a sword and kill my husband. Like what do you think is going to be the outcome of this? People are able to play video games without attaching so much of their identity to this. But these people are basically saying, what if we ramped up idpol and made that everything, our entire identity? I'm sorry, I'm wearing an anime shirt. Gaming is not inherently masculine. It simply is not. But these guys are acting as if this is like the next forefront. Like if John Wayne was alive today, instead of doing fucking spaghetti westerns, he would be on Twitch talking about how we need more men like Arthur Morgan and less men like whatever from Dragon Age of Elgard and some shit. It's so infuriating, man. Like get real problems.
It's never ending too. I mean, we could go back years, and every single game they always have something to say about it. I remember I think the height of the controversy in the earlier 2020s, if I'm remembering correctly, was the Spider-Man 2 game, because it predominantly featured Miles Morales, somebody who is Latino and Black. And there was also a lot of like, what was it? So there was this consulting firm called Sweet Baby Inc. that they were really targeting, because they thought that they were pushing as much woke as they possibly could. And Spider-Man 2 was kind of like the crux of that, because, if you're swinging around New York, you'd see a building with a pride flag, as you would see if you were to, go down New York. Or
go outside.
Or just go outside. That's fair. Yeah. And there's a mission in it where you're playing as Miles Morales' potential partner. I don't want to spoil it. And she is a deaf woman. And so from her perspective, it's silent. So it's really cool, because you do this mission from her perspective, what it's like to be a deaf person and solving, these problems. And they were outraged by it, because not only was she not white, but she was deaf. And why would we bring politics into this video game? And Sweet Baby Inc. did this to us. And it's just, Hey, Matt.
It's so funny to hear that out loud, to be like, what were they so mad about? Did they get rid of Spider-Man? Did they betray his character? No. In one mission that's optional, you have to play as a deaf woman. And I'm like, have we have we reached a point in society where all of our ills have been remedied and these are the actual problems we have in the real world?
Right.
Or are we just so caught up in being mad about everything that objectively cool things, like, not to like that, sidetrack things, but going back to like Summer's Game Fest, you see our state of play, you see God of War, Lafay. You see her taking a sword, beating the shit out of people, doing aerial combat, which is more akin to the OG God of War than like the newer one. And the takeaway is I cannot be aroused by her, so I can't play as her. Because then my question goes, so when you were playing God of War 2018 Ragnarok, when Kratos was shirtless, was that like your selling point? Like, forget the story, forget the graphics. It was just Kratos is 7 feet tall and he's muscular, and this is me.
And hung.
Or like a fucking Norse god, which is funny because he's weak. But I'm like, when you apply this logic to them, this is why a lot of them don't like me. I've gotten it from like the likes of like Asmongold. I've gotten it from Smash J2. Who cares? But like all of their disagreements, I'm like, I'm just applying your logic here. If you're saying you don't hate women, you can play as Bayonetta, and I'm telling you, you guys can only tolerate them because they adhere to certain markers you find attractive. You don't actually like women. Your counterpoint is, oh, well, you are just woke. And I'm like, okay, so we're not having any sort of conversation. I'm trying to tell you I can play all these games. You are actively trying to get this game banned, but you're calling me sensitive. Like it's
didn't we get like a taste of these people though? Like when what was it, the Stellar Blade outfit or something? There's some outfit thing where people sent videos of themselves in, and we got a real good idea of who this audience is, and they were all incredibly disturbed. Like, so like that's kind of what the audience they're speaking to. People who are just very like people that need to go and get help because these are not people that are well.
Well, I think also like teenagers, right? Like, who else does that appeal to if you're just like, women are gross and they suck and, I hate minorities? Like, that's probably not going to skew to people who actually have friends and like,
No.
That's
40-year-old divorced men also.
Yeah. That's also true. Yeah. And I played Stellar Blade after the controversy, like months after, because I couldn't enjoy it because, I associated it with that. But when I finally played it, I'm like, how the fuck are they saying this game is censored? Like, as you're climbing up a ladder, the camera pans to her ass and she is caked the fuck up. And I'm like, this is censorship?
I told them, I told my child, like, first off, I had a whole kind of Gooner video talking about what's actual cakes and what's not. Because Eve does not have cakes. Eve it's an illusion. Who has cakes is 2B, and I will stand by that. But the thing too is they focus so much. It's the same thing with like conservatives in America, right? Where it's everything is about being aggrieved. So nothing is about progressing or sustaining anything. It's all about when I was younger or 2 years ago or however long ago, something happened to me that I never got over, and I'm going to blame this on everyone else. If you guys remember the whole U.S. aid debacle, right? Where they're like, oh, political was getting paid to. I think Asmongold talked about like they were getting paid to smear gamers, and I'm like, do you think anyone needs to pay money to make gamers online look bad? First and foremost, I'm like, secondly, I will never forget this because he said I want them to suffer because they made me suffer, and I was like, that is the heart of every conservative movement in this country. It's simply, I want to inflict as much harm on you because I have been slighted in some way, shape, or form that's so nebulous that we just call it CRT or DEI or woke or whatever. Like Sweet Baby Inc. is a consultant company.
That's in Canada.
Yeah. With like 16 employees.
Yeah. And they got to make no final decisions on any games.
No.
Brought in, and it was just basically like, hey, can you advise us as to whether or not this is culturally sensitive? And that was the start and end of the relationship, and that was it. And no decision making at all. Yeah.
And then they look at that and they go, they worked on a game that failed, or they worked on Suicide Squad, Kill Justice League, and it failed. So it's their fault. I'm like, what about God of War? What about Spider-Man? What about the other games they worked on that succeeded? And it's always this. That's kind of why I started changing my content, because politics in gaming is unavoidable. It's literally it's everywhere, and it's the same tactics. It's othering. Instead of calling them like Somalians, we call them tourists. Instead of saying that, you know, these are actually, they still say DEI, but instead of saying like these people are coming in and invading our countries and making it worse, it's these activists are coming into our hobby and making our games worse. It's it is the same people. So I have to attack it on both angles, where it's, hey, not only is this not how games work, this isn't how capitalism works. Do you really think these companies that are anti-union, that are making these employees crunch, do you think they're looking at their bottom line and going, we gotta make it gay and woke? I don't care. No, listen, put the money away. I don't care about money. I just want to push my political agenda through this game that maybe not a lot of people who are politically active can play, because I want them to know Halo is gay, and how we're going to let them know that is putting a little purple on the planet Threshold, which has.
Do you know how much goddamn purple's in Halo? Like, what a ridiculous thing to say.
Most of the levels.
That's the genius of it, David, because you don't even think about it. You just see purple and you feel a little bit gay.
If
and
anything,
that's how
like,
it subconsciously
we should be criticizing
works.
them for not putting enough purple on the cover. Like, there should be a lot more purple there.
Right. I mean, look, listen, it's not fair that there's so many beautiful protagonist female characters, but I'm playing 007 right now and the dude has no ass. Why don't I get representation as a gay guy? Like, what the fuck?
You should do a whole thread about that. Like, what's going on here?
I will support your petition to give 007 ass. If you put that change.org, I will sign it.
You know, I might do it.
That game, they were trying to. What's insane to me is the games that they pick. I'm like, let me be your PR. Let me be your anti-woke PR strategist. Okay, you're not going to go after Grand Theft Auto. That's too big to fail.
Yeah,
you're not going to go after these couple of games. You're going to say 007, who is notorious for banging hot women. You're going to say they won't let you do that because that would be toxic. You don't know how gaming works. Like, you don't understand that the people who you think are going to be upset by that don't fucking care. You're the only people who care about this. I can pick your target for you. All right. Some indie game that's about like queer relationships. Oh, hell yeah. Destroy that. That's easy money. You can't touch GTA. You can't touch 007. And then the thing is too, is they make these predictions and I feel like I'm dealing with QAnon. Well, they'll just say, well, you know what? Who our favorite bisexual lighting guy, Smash JT, he is convinced. I wouldn't suggest it. If you go onto his page and type in Ghost of Yote, he is convinced that game actually secretly flopped to such an insane degree that he invited a man by the name of Colin Moriarty onto his stream to discuss the numbers. And what Colin explained to him is, you cannot lie about numbers on investor calls. Like, that is actual fraud. And Smash JT believes that Sony and Sucker Punch are so wrapped up in this cultural war that they would do essentially securities fraud just to make it seem like Ghost of Yote sold more in the same time period than the original game, simply because he does not think Erika Ishii's Atsu is hot. And I know I said a lot, but that is literally the level of psychosis we are dealing with. They think companies are willing to throw away millions just to win a made-up cultural war.
And what's crazy is there's gradations to the level of wokeness, because like I remember the Ghost of Yotai discourse. And for those who don't know, that's a sequel to the game Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima featured a male character. Ghost of Yotai featured a female character. But I remember after Ghost of Yotai came out, you know, following the kerfuffle around Assassin's Creed Shadows, which featured a black male protagonist and a female protagonist, there was outrage because, you know, hey, it's a Japanese game. I should see a Japanese person. But the anti-woke crusaders did, I guess, like anti-woke revisionist history, because once Yotai came out, they were comparing the female protagonist from Shadows and the female protagonist from Yotai. They're like, well, this one's hotter in Shadows, so you know what I mean? Like, so I guess that it got the pass from the woke crusaders after previously being woke. It's like, it's brain rot.
It is not woke.
But that is the level of their praxis. It's simply, does this get me hard or not? That's it.
Literally.
If they find any character hot, they will defend it to its dying breath unless they add. Do you guys remember, for the people who aren't aware, there's a game that came out called Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was being railed as like
storyline.
Yes.
Yeah,
and this was
it's
like
a potential side storyline too. It's not even a main one.
No, this is like they were toting this game as like, this is our return with the V, like RVTUR. Like, this is our game. This is what we're gonna have: white Christian masculine dudes in Bohemia killing people. And then they're like, wait, no, there's a black guy in this game and he's not being treated terribly. Oh, it's gone woke. Oh, Henry, through a series of button prompts that you have to do specifically, can end up kissing a boy.
I did those prompts.
and they immediately, and I'm like, you guys, if the simple option of having a same-sex relationship is so hard for you to resist, once again, it is Pride Month. It is okay. You don't have to do this anymore. But you're the demons you are fighting, not even Doomslayer could slay, okay? Like, you have to recognize that no one's forcing you to press these buttons. It's like, oh, well, exactly. It's like that meme where that guy, like, he's shaving his head, like, oh, I didn't want to be a Nazi, but they had no choice.
This is what the left wants.
This is what you want.
And it goes back so far, right? I remember when Mass Effect 3 came out, there was controversy about that game being woke because I don't remember specifically why, but I remember playing it myself, and there was a character. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And there's also a character in it that just like mentioned his husband in passing. Because, like, you know, if it's the future, I don't think that homosexuality is going to be something that's that controversial when they have space travel and interdimensional threats and shit like that. But I mean, there's actual grievances you can have as a gamer if you're passionate about it. But, you know, as you were saying, TTBN, it comes down to, you know, capitalism, and they would rather center themselves and their own personal grievances than the actual issues plaguing gaming, which there are a lot. You know, the commodification of every element of games, microtransactions, anti-consumer practices, abuse of the people who make these games, and, you know, just firing them. Yeah, then rehiring them back for less. I mean, yeah, union busting. I mean, there's so many things that I think are actually dragging down games. Like, you know, capitalism drags down all art to an extent, but they don't want to focus on that because I don't think they really have a core political ideology. So they're just like, their default position is grievance politics. And I think that's what makes these reactionaries like Asmongold as well as Smash JT so influential in their eyes, because they don't really know anything else. You know, if you're raised to think me, the world revolves around me, I'm the main character, then that's obviously going to appeal to them, because it's like, oh yeah, you should be mad about this. This is the biggest issue ever because you don't have anything else to worry about. I mean, sure, the economy is in shambles and you're not going to be able to buy a house.
The Dow's
and you
doing
can't find
okay.
a job.
So.
Yeah, the Dow's doing okay though. But, like, you know, this scandal of the female protagonist that you can't jerk off to because her titties aren't big enough, that's the main thing you should be concerned about. It's really cartoonish, and it's why I feel like your channels are important, like channels like yours are important, TTBN, because if you can redirect people and just get them to be a little bit more savvy and media literate, I think that would do numbers, because the amount of people who have no media literacy, it is astonishing. Like, I'm a huge fan of One Piece, as people know. The most overtly political. Oh, you too? Okay, perfect.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm all the way called One Piece. Oh, thank you. I just finished Egghead.
Okay.
It's the most overtly political show, anime, manga you can find. But conservatives think it's not political, or they'll say that it's actually conservative because, you know, it's anti-big government. Like, I guess that's how you can reduce it down. It's
nothing. I'll tell you right now, Mike, there's nothing more infuriating than going on the Piss Me Off Factory, aka Twitter, and seeing a Luffy profile picture and then being like, yeah, we should deport all illegals. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Oh man.
I'm like, did we skip Alabasta? Did we skip literally Dressrosa, which he might have, because it was long, but I'm like, did you just skip the entirety of his I'm like, Enos Lobby. Like, did we skip
Impel Down?
Did we skip so much of this series? And I actually did a small video on like just like anime as a whole, because again, huge anime fan, and they're trying to say that anime is largely right wing, and I'm like, how do you like these people are using freaking Jinro and they're like, look at the armor, it's so cool. Look how cool he looks. I'm like, did we not understand that him wearing the Wolves Brigade outfit was a failing? Like that's bad. These are bad things. Like these are the people who watch Starship Troopers and go, you know what? Those bugs are fucking ugly. It's like, hey man, like I think
that's a good point.
I think you missed. Yeah, I mean, it's true.
The other people who are attractive. I mean, it just makes sense, right? I mean, they're all beautiful.
Ugly people.
I don't want to be the bugs.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But that level of the lack of media literacy, again, all of this comes from a misunderstanding of media and also political engineering. Like this is what conservative right wings have been building in this country for the last like 20 years. Anti-intellectualism, attacking higher institutions. And when you erode those confidence in those institutions, you end up with Joe Rogan. And once Joe Rogan becomes normalized, no one has to fact check anything. It's just vibes now. It's, hey, I think One Piece is actually conservative because Luffy punches people who happen to be a different skin color. And it's like, well, yeah, they're fishmen, but I feel like you're missing the allegory that these races represent. He's called, not giving spoilers, but like he is a freedom fighter. He's a liberator. You look at the real world, like real life revolutions are using the Straw Hats Jolly Roger. It's not the government putting out like, right? It's like you have these people who are just so intellectually uncurious. And what I want to do, like on my side of the field, because I know we all have our roles to play, right? I'm not the big video essayist. I can't, I don't have the attention span to sit down and like make a 5-hour long video like everyone else does. I can do the quick hits. I can get in the mud with them and do live stream and do reacts because that's my strength. But we're dealing with people who are so angry at both like the idea of intellect and also like people who are experts or people who know their shit that we get more pushback, and then they will support people like an Asmon. Right. I don't know if you guys saw Stephen Asart's video that he did on like talking to some of his fans. But I watched that on stream and actually started talking to somebody in my comment section who was a fan of his. And there was one point in the video in which they tried to compare Hassan and Asmon to essentially Socrates and Diogenes. What they call Hassan's like if he's like the equivalent of the Pope, then Asmongold is like the homeless man ranting on the corner at the end of days. And because the homeless man doesn't pretend he's better, they would listen to him. And I was like, but in your own example, the guy you like is the raving lunatic who sits on the corner. Like, you're aware that he doesn't know what he's talking about. But you're saying because he doesn't talk down to you, that he doesn't inject his morals onto you. Like, but he does. You're just not aware of it. And I'm trying to tell you, when they tell you to be mad at these people because they think they're illegal and they don't belong, I'm like, they are in fact putting their moral stances onto their belief system, because that's how it works. You can't divorce the two. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to sit here and say, hey buddy, and hold your hand. I'm like, part of my job I do in like real life behavioral therapy, so I understand how to talk to people in certain ways to make it more effective. If me being nice to you would have worked, then that would have worked. But the fact that you guys are going to these creators who spit nothing but vitriol, and you're like, I like that. It's like, okay, now I know the energy to attack you with logics and facts.
Do you think the reason that they're saying to you that they feel he speaks for them or is one of us when he's just, worth tens of millions of dollars, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars at this point, is that just because you think of the way he presents himself? Like, I don't shower, I live upstairs, I live in garbage, I'm human filth.
100.
And they're like, okay, interesting.
100,000%. Everyone who's a big fan of his, people like him, they fall for the aesthetics of the everyman, right? And I tried to tell them, like, I am closer to you as the everyman because I also am a wage slave, right? I do work hourly. I am not living in living in squalor, but like I don't have like a bunch of houses. I don't own, like, Asmongold is like what, the owner of 3 companies. He has his PC company, the OTK, and the talent company. Like, does that sound like somebody who's relatable? He went on a podcast with I think Caleb Hammer was talking about how they were trying to be humble for him, be like, so you must have a couple $1 million after taxes. And he goes, no, more, much more. And I'm like, that's the guy you're telling me is humble and one of you guys gets and understands it. The guy who after taxes has so much money that when someone tries to lowball it and say like 6 million, he has to immediately say more. I don't have one of those millions.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, my bank account's mad at me. But these people that they idolize, they speak from such a distant position where it's, no, your problems don't have to do with the fact that we are under capitalism and all of your material conditions have gotten worse because wages have gone up, things have gone stagnant. Your problems are bad because illegal immigrants, and if it's video games, it's because of women. Yep. And they're able to just do that. And these people, again, are just so angry and rudderless that if you try to correct them gently, they push back so hard, which is why sometimes I title my videos just like, this is the dumbest person I've ever seen. Or I will go after the big ones too. And people call it clout chasing. I'm like, is that not in the sense what we all do? We talk about current topics. You talk about people and things that would get attention. So when people break it down, you're like, oh yeah, I see it now.
Mm-hmm. It's only clout chasing when you do it when you're smaller, but if you're bigger and you still do the same thing, then it's not clout chasing. It doesn't make sense. People try to rationalize the shit that, I guess soothes them. But real quick, I wanted to cut in and bring in a real life video game character, the star of Stardew Valley, real life farmer. Kowalski from Nebraska is also here today. Hey, Kowalski, how's it going?
You brought me on when the camera is pointed right at the sun.
This is the way to hide your face.
Awesome. I'm the second coming of Christ. I've been brought here to save you in Pride Month. No.
Oh,
thank you. I thought that you were a nurse, with the halo, because Trump said his picture was, he was a nurse or a doctor. So I was like, hey, who's that doctor or whatever Trump said.
Nah, I'm just aura farming, as you can clearly see. So
you have like a router on the tractor. How is this feed so clean? And you're out in the field. I'm impressed.
Because this is modern agriculture. This is I've got a satellite steering this thing. I've got computer programs running in here. Matt has seen the inside of my cab. He knows it's essentially mission control. So
no way.
I would pan it around, but if
Matt,
I
you're
move
muted.
my iPad,
I think Matt's muted.
Wow, I've been muted this whole time. I've been.
Oh, I just thought you were quiet.
Yeah, I thought I was just dominating the conversation. I'm sorry.
No, I'm joking. I was listening in because I jumped in late, so I didn't want to just interrupt this conversation you guys were having about big God of War titties or something like that. I got no idea what was going on.
Yeah, Kowalski, thoughts on the God of War titty situation?
Oh shit, Kowalski, what up?
Oh, what's up, Lance? God of War titties. Pro.
Okay.
Kowalski, you're really low. Can you fix your mic settings? I know you're.
You might be able to actually bring them up.
I cranked them up as far as I can. I think he just
mic closer.
Yeah, that might help a little.
Pin this on my collar. Does that help at all?
That does help. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
All right, I could just grab it here later. I'm actually just about to turn around. So, look.
Are you driving a tractor?
Yes.
That's so awesome.
I mean, if you're gonna bring on an authentic farmer, you gotta have him
in a working class podcast.
In action. Otherwise, no one's gonna believe. No one's gonna believe he's a real farmer if he's not in a tractor in the field.
It's actually all a green screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a green screen. He's just LARPing. No, Kowalski, everybody already knows you in the chat, but talk about your YouTube channel, because I don't think people realize that you're super you're a content creator now too. You're not just a farmer. So talk about your channel.
Well, my channel's been on a bit of a hiatus as I have been quite busy farming, as you can see, but I've been putting out some content. Usually it's a little more political, talking about the current things going on in agriculture, and just thinking about putting out a video now on some things is just what existential dread do I want to start just talking about, and it's I don't know. It's kind of depressing. You kind of just don't really want to be the drag on everyone, but I am here to make everyone depressed now. So,
well,
I mean,
we're
you might
happy
as well share
to we're happy to add to the chorus of depressed people.
Video games. I mean,
well, I actually wanted to get your take on that because before you got here, we were talking about basically the reactionary culture in video games, and I'm not necessarily sure, Kowalski, if you are a big video game dude, but like part of this always kind of like relates back to young men who are grievance focused and not really having an outlet. And like, what's your take on that whole situation?
I guess for me, like the only games I've played recently are like Rocket League, maybe Call of Duty or Battlefield, and that is solely just to play with my friends.
Farm Simulator.
My nephew likes it. My brother likes playing it with his children. I don't want to do this anymore that I already have.
That'd be hilarious if you just go from your day job to walking inside and playing more farming.
Just loves farming.
And being upset how not realistic Stardew Valley is.
Yeah, just complains about it the whole time.
Oh, thank God, the trees. My eyes. I actually haven't seen the latest. I know there was a bunch of game trailers and stuff that got dropped. Halo's pretty big in my immediate friend group. That actually does kind of excite me just because maybe it'll get 343 to actually make a new game. I don't know. I've always enjoyed it.
Halo fan, after playing Halo, did you ever get the urge to like kiss a boy or like... Because what's happening right now is the new Halo remake is causing people to signal trans, but also because of bisexual lighting. So I was just curious if like the lightings ever hit you.
Yeah, that's the discourse right now, Kowalski. So
those sunsets.
Yeah,
Halo does not create these things within people; it illuminates them within people. It is just a flashlight. No, I don't know. That's just controversy for controversy's sake. It's I've never played a video game and have just.
What is that? What the hell just happened?
So I was trying to push one button on a soundboard, and then the whole board, and then
the whole board went off.
And I was also
soul leave my body.
Just to wake you all up. All right, good. That was also bisexual.
Terrified me. I thought I blew a pump apart. But I don't know. I've never. I feel like that's a part of gaming that I've never really understood, like the commentary on it. I guess maybe I'm just a really well socially adjusted human being, and those kind of things just don't impact me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, do not listen. Don't ever apologize for that. I wish. I wish I never stepped into this.
Well, and if you notice, these kinds of things, they only go one way, right? Like, there's nobody in the world is thinking Mike from the Humanist Support is going to turn straight after playing Stellar Blade. I mean, I was close, but nobody actually believes that. It's only one way.
Redemption, and we're like, God damn it! I need to be like a Western man's man, saving the maiden.
Kirby did make me want to become a cloud, so there's that.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Honestly, while also playing Stellar Blade, I'm like, I'm super straight. But then they showed Adam. I was like, damn, am I super straight? Or is this thing trying to trick me?
Yeah, it's
Kowalski, I want to know what are the incredible insights you have that are also depressing that you're going to reveal to the world.
Please.
Oh, yeah. Please. Yeah. I love depressing.
Give me 1 second to turn back in.
I was
actually ramping up to it.
I was in Nebraska a couple of weeks ago for 8 days, and I was on the tornado watch. Yeah, I was in Omaha, and then I was also in Council Bluffs, which is like kind of Nebraska, but also in Iowa. And I was under tornado watch.
Eventually.
No,
that weekend.
Yeah, my friend told me, she was like, "Oh, we've been expanding out." I'm like, is imperialism like still a thing in like within the country where we can just annex other parts of states?
I mean, it should be, because I think Nebraska could make a mad blitz on the Dakotas, but we would ultimately fall to Colorado. But I guess some of the farming news that's just coming out, it's just real depressing. You know, you got the screw worm, which is going to make beef prices go up, which is going to drag all meat prices up in North America. You're going to see El Nino is going to it's probably going to create flash flood points all over the planet because there's just going to be that much moisture in the air because there's so much heat that the oceans are just evaporating that much. So big storms will pop up. They'll be more intense than you could possibly imagine. It'll wash crops away. There'll be droughts in a lot of areas. There's talks right now. We could see like a 5 to 10% decline in the monsoon rains because it has a reverse effect on the opposite end of the Pacific. So, and then on top of all of that, the man-made energy crisis / fertilizer crisis. Oh, yeah. The average age of the American farmer is now over 60. A hardy group of people to weather the storm. And our working force is predominantly migrants, and we're at the lowest we've been since the 1980s, I think. So it's, I don't even know. We're not even doing nation building at this point. I think our society is just like on a death loop.
Yeah.
But once we get rid of all those illegals, then I can buy a house. So silver lining.
That is true because
what they
there will
say.
be no one left to enforce property law as society will be collapsing.
Exactly.
I got my mansion story. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kowalski, a couple of months ago, I brought you on my show at the start of the Iran war, and you were like one of the few people sounding the alarm about how the fertilizer crisis is going to directly impact food prices, and you predicted like a 5 to 10% increase. And I feel like now people are catching up because we've seen a 5 to 10% increase across the board on groceries. And like, what is your glimpse into the future for us based on what's happening right now? Because for all we know, there's going to be another like 6 months or so of Donald Trump announcing a deal and then backing out. And it seems like once we burn through our strategic reserves of gas, then everything kind of just hits the fan. What do you think, like, given the state of things right now and assuming it's going to be this way, at least until the end of the year, because I don't see us reaching a deal anytime soon with Iran. What do you think do you think it's going to get worse? How does that look to you, just like from your farming perspective? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know about the impact war has on agriculture, not just like in the United States, but Iran as well. But like, if you could talk through how much doom we should feel, basically.
So North America broadly will never run out of fertilizer. We are, as a continent, a net energy exporter, and all the fertilizer we basically use, we can do internally. There'll be some shifting that will have to be done. The private sector stuff is moving, so we won't have a shortage here, but we will have increased costs. So, like, if you're in North America, if you're in like East Asia, you'll have the money to survive, but your price of food will go up. Central Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, possibly parts of the Middle East, it'll be kind of like the Arab Spring. So,
it'll set off revolutions essentially.
Yeah. But the problem is, though, unlike the Arab Spring, now governments know that they have to crack down with force. So it will be very bad if it gets out of hand. And by all accounts, it's going to, because the one tool we had to mitigate something like this was USAID, and that's gone. Even if you brought it back now, the institution would take a year to reconstitute. No other organization aside from the United Nations really has the resources to, move mass quantities of things. So it's pretty bleak. I would say expect the cost of food to continue to rise for at least the next 3 years. Wow, this is a very full lobby.
Wow, I feel like I'm in a Brady bunch right now.
What's going on? There's 8 of us. I don't think I've seen this many people before.
Yeah, welcome Rebecca and Ariana to the stream. Nice to see you both as well.
Ariana and Rebecca got the notification that Kowalski's on, and they had to jump right on the stream.
No, not at all.
Incredible,
I
Riz.
didn't even see. I didn't even see. So
we didn't even know.
no, I literally was.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she has to
Wow.
prove a
Thank
point.
God,
She said,
Yeah, I
"See,
had
I
to prove
told
the
you."
point by leaving.
Point taken. Yeah.
Oh, now we're like bookending. I got that.
It would make sense. I have better internet resources in the middle of a cornfield than someone would in a metropolitan area.
That's great. You should do like a, I don't know, like a live stream, just like every single day. Just start live streaming your like farming. I just feel like it's so, just the background alone is so interesting to see somebody like talking to us while they're on a tractor. Like, it's just very,
it's calming to have the slow motion of the crops.
yeah, it's like it's
background.
calming. It gets your
You're talking
attention.
about the end of the planet, and I'm like, I feel pretty calm right now.
Oh yeah, this is like one of those TikTok videos you get at like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
just coming through.
Oh, you're reading my brain. I want to
Yeah.
see this.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sorry, I'm a little
I did not have a ton of topics planned for this week. I feel like we're living in a loop where the same news kind of just repeats itself. There's elections. Trump announces on Friday that there is going to be a war with Iran again, and then on Monday, everything is copacetic. We're this close to a deal. I think that there was a CNN clip about how he announced 37 different times that we're close to a deal. So I kind of feel like we're just, at this point in time, if you want to know whether or not the war is going to continue, you just have to take what Iran says, because a foreign government is literally more trustworthy with regard to what's going on than our own government, seeing as how Trump just like, he's not living in reality and he's just making shit up, and they refuse to be honest with us. And I just feel like it's kind of getting exhausting. But I did want to do one thing to make us a little bit happy given the circumstances. I did want to dance on one political grave. I was hoping
is
that
it
would
Miss
be
Beans? Me Beans?
You know, you read my fucking mind, man. So let me click share, because Nancy Mace did something that you never ever do. She acknowledged her haters. But let me just say, so Nancy Mace, okay, we all know and love her. She lost her governor race, and just to give you perspective, she was running for governor of her state, and she came in 5th fucking place. So her and Riley Gaines have that in common. And she posted this long thing about how, it's the honor of my life, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, long time ago, Kyle Kalinske tweets this all-timer, "That's a lot of beans, you nasty ass bitch." And to his point, I mean, that's insane.
We can't see the beans. Are you showing
You
the
can't
beans?
see the beans. Oh, because I have to share this tab. There we go. Beans. That's what she tweeted.
Ooh.
Kyle Kalinske, he responded to that saying, "That's a lot of beans, you nasty ass bitch." And to Rebecca's reaction, like, beans aren't supposed to be that watery. That is going straight to her booty hole as soon as she puts that in her face.
Everything that's on there on her plate look crazy.
Also, it's like she got a plate of sides and like.
Yeah, I know. She's just eating the sides.
Everything is unseasoned,
Honestly,
undercooked.
you know what though? You know what? I can't even hate on her for a plate of sides, because I'm a plate of sides type of bitch. So I can't even hate on her.
It's good variety for sure.
But Ariana, would you fill that little cardboard thing to the top?
Gotta
with
make sure we
beans?
get as many
Listen,
beans as
I didn't
possible.
say
in
I
this
was
thing.
gonna do it the way she did it. I just said if you see me with a plate of sides, mind your business. But
Extra juice, please.
I like how we're talking about the Kyle Kalinske thing, where Nancy Mace had all those sides on her plate, and he called her a nasty ass bitch, and Ariana's like, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm a nasty ass bitch."
whoa, wait, okay, wait, you got me fucked up. You got me so fucked up. See, he knows I'm all the way out in Brooklyn and he's in Queens, so you can talk shit like that. But it's like, you're in Brooklyn, I say catch you outside, because that was foul. No, I don't. I literally, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, beans are just like not for me. Me and beans don't jive like that. So I fear absolutely not. That would be no.
Everything on that plate is a no. Everything on the plate is immediate no. And I don't, you know, people like her, you know, they go, I know these type of spots. I can tell. Look at the background. I can see the people
Yes.
who are in the background. It just gives what the
all you gotta say.
I've been to these establishments.
That's so funny.
You know,
I was
and I've
thinking,
been to
I didn't
these
think I could
little
say
towns, and the food never. It looks exactly what's on her plate, and it never hits. Like it's just, you know. And I don't even. She don't let she even ate it. To be honest, it's probably just a post of her, you know, losing, and then now her being back to her
No, I
normal.
think she ate it.
You know.
This is prior to that, but I will say,
prior.
She's obsessed with trans people in bathrooms. If she eats those beans, that's one surefire way to make sure they never go in the same bathroom as her.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can we just have a moment of silence for the little like pinch of the stems of cilantro? Because like, who the fuck eats cilantro like that? Like,
Yeah, no, that's kind of
what
weird.
the fuck? That's some white people shit, dude. Like, that's all.
I just want,
that's
for
all
the
you
record,
guys.
I just want to say, not
relate
all
to
white people do this. Okay.
This is not
they're-
representative.
Thank you, Mike, for standing up for
Look,
us.
I hate it's so racist, but there's a type. There's a type in everybody's culture, but I will say there's a type, and I know where to find this type of food. You know who's gonna be at the spot.
Mhm.
You just know. You just know.
And listen,
It's
as
so
a white
Southern
person, I've seen
coded.
white people do egregious shit when they have barbecues. They put raisins in their fucking
I'm surprised at how
salad.
mayonnaise
Now
those
I
beans.
will
See
say, and
mayonnaise.
I've said this. No, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've said this on my other show. I'm like, yo, raisins. You know, cranberries. I have 8 cranberries, and I could be honest. You know, this is my truth. I had cranberries in a chicken salad at Publix, very white, like people stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. And I took a bite, and I was like, they did something with that. The chicken salad with the cranberries. I mean, white folks did something with that right there. I'm not
I
gonna
feel
lie.
like cranberries
With the
can work.
on a croissant
Raisins to
bread.
me is kind of like no. Cranberries
Yeah,
okay,
raisin-
raisins no. That's
I
fine.
just
it was
want
the
to
You're saying it was
cranberries
the
in the-
elevated white food experience. That was not a
It
negative
was-
one.
Yeah, that was not. I wanted to let you guys know that it wasn't a negative one, okay? And then I usually sometimes will stop by Publix and get me a cranberry chicken salad on a croissant, and it's good. It's
Listen,
good.
Million
okay,
L's.
I'm
That
saying it,
honestly
dog.
does sound
White
good.
people,
Time.
you guys, white people,
Not
when
you
you
guys.
guys, when white people, y'all do y'all big ones. Because I know I'm going a little tangent. I'm sorry to have to say this. Anytime I hear a white person use AAVE, I want to die. Because you guys had such bangers growing up in the 90s. I'm like, when did we get away from this? Why are we not doing
Like-
losers? Like, whatever. Like, that shit was
Clutch.
devastating.
Like the
Bro,
girls
that's
are not
clutch.
hot anymore. Y'all calling them baddies. The girls are
Yeah.
not hot anymore.
girlfriend's
I
hot.
used to love, you know, hearing the things. I love
We
everybody
used to
having
play
their way of being.
garages. We had angst.
Yes, exactly.
some
You guys used to.
It's just
Cause
depression. now.
tonight is gonna be. I'm like, you guys used to do your big one, and now everyone wants to be black, but not really black. I'm like, stop
Social
it.
media has everybody speaking the same. I was just telling somebody the New York accents. At work, I was talking to a client and I was listening to them talk. I'm like, dang, that New York accent is gone. They don't even. You go to New York, they don't even sound like that no more. Like that old man, that
Almost
white
Italian.
Italian or something. That good,
Yeah.
strong New York accent. They don't got it no more.
You know, the history of that is so interesting because it's actually like an Irish and Italian accent, like mixed into English. Like the history of the New York accent is so interesting. But no, there's still a lot of people. If you go to Staten Island, you can find a ton of them. It's not going
No, I'm
anywhere.
talking about. Yeah, see, I wouldn't. I'm not talking about going to Staten Island. Like when I lived in Brooklyn, everybody had their different New York accents.
I love how
went
she's
back
like,
up
I'm
there
not talking
a
about
few
going to
months
Staten
ago.
Island.
Yeah, not Staten Island.
I'm
not
never going to
Long
Staten
Island, not even Queens. But I'm saying, like, you know, like
Hey,
Matt has an accent.
You live out in Narnia, dog. Like
But-
it's all you and Queens. That's all you.
Yeah, but I don't hear it no
Hey,
more.
I'm
like
the
from
only-
younger
I thought-
generation.
I'm the only legit New Yorker in here, right? Anyone else here born and raised? I don't think so, right? Hey, hey.
No, but you have.
Listen.
but you
I'm
have an
walking
accent
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I too am also
I'm
walking.
walking here. Hey, come
Sir, I'm
on.
walking
And when-
here, okay? Cut
And
the
when I hear
malarkey.
David and Lance talk more than like a
Malarkey.
few sentences, both of you guys have heavy Canadian accents to me too. I can hear like some words come out, and I'm like, oh, they're
For
Canadian.
all the
for
courses
real.
I took to get rid of it too. You know, all the therapy
no,
I
you
had to
guys
get rid of
have
my
it.
boots.
All the
and-
American content I consumed as a child has not done anything.
And I'm trying to train myself to say a boot in sorry, so that way I can maybe like blend in if I have to become an undocumented person in Canada if shit hits the fan still.
I just say Crody a lot when Americans are going under. I just practice that.
But I love accents. I hate that everybody's trying to sound like one thing. I like when you meet somebody and they sound like where they're from. But internet has made everybody kind of talk the same in some way.
We become more homogenous for sure.
No, we become more black. Let's be real.
That's fair.
People have been using the word "unk" more than any of my black people like I've ever heard in my life. Like I've been called "unk," chopped. Which for me being chopped, I'm like, let's be real, come on. But I'm like, you hear these terms so much that you're like, it's kind of like when people do like woke, right? Like things that I heard growing up, where I'm like, okay, the aunties and uncles are doing that. Now I have 15-year-olds going like, damn, unk chopped as hell as AF. I'm like, AF? What the? You guys don't. I'm like, do kids not cuss anymore? Like, what are we doing? Like,
no, they don't cuss no more. They like. They don't. Well, not at least like they have words, special words that they use, like the whole phrases that we talked about like last year when we were talking about what the kids say. I remember squibbity or whatever they were saying that was a thing that was curse words. They moved on from that. That whatever's on the internet now, they moved on from that. Now they're saying now I hear the people saying, which I think is cute, you the birthday, right? But then have like kids coming up to say, you the birthday. And I'm like, I can't even hang no more. I'm so sorry. I don't even know anymore.
I haven't heard that expression before. Oh,
it means like you're it. Like you're
it's
the
like
moment, you know?
Yeah. It's all you have the spotlight. You have the floor. Listen, I will tell you something. Being black and being like in your 30s, I'm like 36, is just the weirdest time in my life because I'm expected to keep up with every form of lingo for like my non-black friends, and I'm on like fucking Urban Dictionary. Like, what the fuck is what is all this shit? I'm like, I'm not young like that no more. I have bills. Like I go to sleep at 10 o'clock because my back hurts. I don't have time to be getting in this action and talking about that. Like I'm in pain all the time.
No, I'm 36 too. I'm not in pain all the time. I'm grown, but there's just something I gave up on trying to like keep up with the lingos or keep up with the music. It's just seriously, I just don't like some of the music, and I like some of the music, but I don't like feeling forced to try to like consume everything anymore. It's just too much. Sometimes I'll just be like, let me go ahead and play some songs from the 2000s, and that goes for like
I do that too.
I'll play
Rebecca.
Britney Spears. I'll play like Jennifer Lopez from that time. I play all them songs from that time. Everybody, all the things, Aaliyah, everybody, just to kind of feel good, right? Because I can't consume the things on the radio right now or the whatever is playing right now. I can't.
And like for me, it's not even really just about whether the music right now is good or not. It's more about how shitty everything else is, and I want to have nostalgia for like the 90s or like the early 2000s or something, like when things didn't feel so dire.
I think we're all in this nostalgia trap though, which not to be like the leftist who brings down the mood, but here I am. We are all in this like nostalgic trap, which in small doses is fine, but now we're I think at a danger point where like I'm gonna watch, because I have a free ticket, I'm gonna watch the He-Man movie that came out, right? He-Man hasn't been popular since like the mid to late 80s. And this is a franchise people are starting to do again. We're going backwards, like literally. Like even the most popular films right now, I just saw The Backrooms. Great. I love the web series. I saw the movie. It was great. But these are places that are taking place in like objectively the 90s, the 80s, even the early aughts. And I think from like a art standpoint, we are doing ourselves a disservice because now we're not producing anything new. We are reheating the nachos of the past in order to give us some comfort, but it makes it seem more hollow because it's 2026 and like here's another Star Wars rehash coming out. Here's a movie you saw 10 years ago back again.
Yeah.
I don't think
that's us. I feel like it's I feel like it's everybody else wanting to recreate those moments to feel them. And when they I think a lot of millennials honestly are online and like, you know what, leave that alone. Why y'all touching that? Like we don't even want the remake. Leave that on its own. So that's kind of like, but I do understand like a point of what you're saying. I don't really think I think we kind of reach back to the times to feel a moment, because like David was saying, it was kind of like, dang, like that felt good, and right now everything's a little messed up, so let's just kind of touch some grass. And touching some grass for people was like listening to when music felt good, or watching Doug, or watching Hey Arnold for a second or something like that. But like if they would tell me that they're going to do a live action of Hey Arnold, I would be upset. But they're doing that. Like I don't even like that they're doing.
Put that
That sounds like nightmare fuel.
They'll do stuff like that.
What were you saying, Kowalski?
I was going to say that I think the reason a lot of things are just being rehashed is studios are run by corporate execs instead of actual artists. Like, for all of his flaws, George Lucas, great artist, thought his stuff through. He wanted to make something. He went out, made it. Great. Disney just wants to turn a profit. So nothing new, nothing gets rehashed, except when you get like a few creators that will go like just hit it out of the park, that like love the stuff they're doing. Like Dave Filoni, anytime he touches Star Wars, it usually works out. He loves the material, you can tell. But anytime corporations decide to do a boardroom decision, it's go with nostalgia, go with a property we own. Oh yeah, and remember, we have to make something with this property because then it will keep the copyright going for an additional 75 years. So it's kind of just a way to maintain that. Plus, everything's being consolidated into like 5 media companies.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's what I was touching on with the hollow aspect of it, where it doesn't feel like anything's progressing. Because like we can tell, it's been 5 years since this last movie. Well, if they want to keep the rights, they're going to produce whatever. And like Disney's the perfect example, like you mentioned. I was actually watching, I think his name was Joseph Conrad, his videos about like the woke films. And most of the films talking about Disney was just live actions of things you've literally already seen. Some of them 1-for-1, like shot remakes. And I'm like, the only purpose for this is to revitalize an IP, but also be safe with it. And I think we've lost our edge when it comes to media as a whole, because even like bad characters aren't bad and like truly evil anymore. We're sanitizing so much. And I'm just like, if we're letting our art like die this way to commodify it, that does not bode well for our future, because not everything has to be digestible and clean and easy. And I'm like, but that's not, there should be some friction in some of the media that you watch. You should be challenged. I shouldn't have to have characters tell me, we're going to stop the bad guy because he's going to do bad things and I'm a good person and I only do good things. Like, I just think we're at a weird point. And the fascism doesn't help at all, of course. But we're just at this weird inflection point with like creativity, where it seems to be less about creating things and more about creating norms, like normalizing a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I don't think this is good, which is why there's a game coming out where you can kill Nazis. I'm like, okay, that's my speed.
Yeah, we need some more of those.
Yeah, we definitely do. I just wanted to go back really quick to the Nancy Mace before we get too far off, because
don't forget about the beans.
To put a little pin
we really
in that conversation.
I know. Like, what was it? What was it about Nancy Mace? What she did?
So she acknowledged the bean thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Bro, we're talking about beans again.
We have to listen.
She acknowledged the joke.
We never moved past beans.
We have to put a little pin in this conversation. So she actually acknowledged Kyle Kalinski's tweet by saying, "Some people expect me to be eating a pint of ice cream after my loss. I have other plans." And
Did you say pint of ice cream? Isn't it pint?
Yeah, I said both because I'm like, wait, my brain.
I was trying to remember, like, is it? I was wondering, like, maybe different parts of the U.S. say it differently. That's why I was.
No, I just fucked up.
No.
My brain fucked up.
Okay, Mr. Canada.
Yeah, right.
But if it makes me seem more Canadian, then I will.
Well, we don't use pint at all, so that's why
Okay. But yeah, so she acknowledged it, and this is not representative of the beans that she ate, because it would be overflowing and more watery. So I just had to put a pin in that, so that way everybody knows that Nancy Mace knows we all think she's a freak for eating a shit ton of beans.
So wait, how did she? I don't follow this stuff as closely as I used to in terms of like the right. Like, why did she lose so badly? What happened? Why is she not popular?
Donald Trump endorsed. Donald Trump endorsed somebody else, and that was
She's
its
not crazy
own-
enough for him.
Well, I think she might
She
be too
talks
crazy
too
even for
much.
Donald Trump, right?
She talks too much, and this is not at all a joke. She talks too much about the victims of sexual assault. That was honestly it. That was actually a lot where she's like in between the trans.
Oh yes, Nancy Mace, the big
I know.
women's champion. Like, what are you talking? Like,
Yeah, I know. That's why everyone was always just like, you were supporting the pedophile in chief. What are you talking about? This guy
that's
is
insane.
The king of the pedos. He's your guy, but yeah.
By the way, I heard that like you said she came in fifth. I heard she came behind someone who's never held office before, like in voting. Like she was that bad.
She really got her clock cleaned. It was humiliating for her. And the worst part is she kind of had a crash out after Trump endorsed somebody else. And she shared AI generated pictures of her and Donald Trump doing like a thumbs up saying Trump did not endorse this woman. I don't remember her name. And there was like a little community note saying, yes, Donald Trump did endorse her, because she was trying to pretend like Trump had endorsed her. And you could tell she was having a mental, she's been having a mental breakdown, but she was really like, this was the peak of her mental breakdown after Donald Trump chose to not endorse her. But she should have anticipated that, because she was opposed to the Epstein files being kept secret. She voted with Democrats to release them. So of course you're going to be persona non grata, because he is in the Epstein files. What did you expect? Just to like expose his pedophilia and then him be like, sure, come on to the fucking governorship. No.
It's also so crazy though. Like, first off, girl, stand up. Like, why are you AIing Donald Trump endorsing you? But on top of that, it's kind of what we're talking about earlier. Like, these people are in such a delusional space that they have seen Trump throw people under the bus time and time and time. Like, there's a reason why his current VP is not still Mike Pence. Spoiler alert, because he had a lynch mob coming after him at the behest of Trump during January 6th. And these people continuously tie their fucking wagon to this guy. I'm like, he will at any moment. Pam Bondi, gone. She has cancer. Bye-bye, gone. He has done this to literally everyone close to him. From the last administration, there's almost no one there. And he has a whole new group of sycophants. And they do this time and time again. And it's like, at what point does it become enough for them where you're not going to maintain this power because you won't even be in this cabinet longer than a year and a half? So you won't even be able to benefit from all this stuff.
That's all they need. That's just the boost, right? Like then you just go on to doing Fox News or some oil executive lobbyist or some other shit.
Like Dan Bongino is a fucking podcaster, and he was the assistant deputy to the FBI, and now he's back to podcasting. And I'm like, and we just let this happen. Like, that's it. There's no.
And there on that note though, there was an article from the New York Times giving us a behind the scenes look at the freak out at the White House over the Epstein files. And one of the quotes from Dan Bongino was hilarious because he felt like they had bungled it. He was taking a lot of heat, tarnished his reputation among MAGA. And one of the quotes in the article was like, I gave up everything to be here. I gave up my $1 million podcast to be here. and it was like, I mean, why would you do that then?
Yeah, Nancy, just like Nancy Mace gave up her seat. Like, she's out. Like, she's done.
She's done.
She vacated her seat to run. Now she's done. And I'm like, you people are sacrificing so much for a man who would not spit on you if you were on fire in front of him, and he caused that fire. Like, and it's like you're doing, yeah, he would charge you for burning up in his presence.
Yeah,
an oxygen fee. And I'm like, we are seeing this country being ran in such an insane way, and the rest of the world is just like, what's going on here? But also, I like some of what you're doing, so let's infect this with Canada too. Now, because I know you guys are also having some weird shit happening over there.
Everything's fine up here.
No weird AI dystopia tech surveillance state.
You have a very progressive prime minister, I hear. Very progressive.
Yeah, very progressive. Wild.
Especially with the First Nations. Real awesome place. The only good news I've seen so far, honestly, is, and I'm jealous of everyone who's living in New York City right now, because not only do they have Momdanistan and Sharia law is awesome apparently, but the Knicks are one game away from winning it all.
Even I
And-
watched that game as a Canadian that doesn't usually watch a lot of basketball, but that was an exciting ass
such a
game,
good
and
game.
I'm cheering for the Knicks.
Such a good game.
Is it not over? I thought that it was over on
No,
Monday.
No, that was
No, they gotta
they've
win
won.
four.
They've won
They're up
3.
3-1.
Go Knicks,
Okay.
go.
They
So
didn't
they're
win
still
one
winning.
more.
Yeah. I will say I never thought in my life the Knicks would potentially win a championship and potentially only take 2 losses in the entire run of the postseason. But yesterday I was like, oh, this is going to be. I thought Donald Trump cursed you guys, to be completely honest.
I thought so too. I thought it was over.
I saw people saying that.
Donald Trump gets there with Jim Dolan, look like 2 walking. I don't want to be that would mean 2 walking corpses, and then in order to counteract that bad juju, they had to bring Mariska Hargitay. They had to have Taylor Swift. They had to have what was it? Who did the halftime show? Wasn't it like was it like Wu-Tang or something? At the halftime show?
Yes,
It was?
Yeah, it was. Like, it was the remaining Wu-Tang Clan members.
To counteract the bad energy of Donald Trump, you had to bring out all of the stars to surmise to overcome a 29-point deficit. And if that's not the power of socialism, then goddamn it, I don't know what is, man.
I was
I mean,
a
it's
little annoyed
amazing
at all the
how
constant
much-
celebrity shots, though. Sorry, Bitter, go
Well,
ahead.
it's a basketball game. There's always celebrity, especially at Knicks
Yeah, I
Knicks
know.
games at MSG. There's always going to be celebrities sitting courtside. But I mean, it's amazing how much Dolan like worked really hard to like fuck shit up for the Knicks in order to defend Donald Trump.
Donald
Like-
Trump, yes.
Like he had that fight with Mayor Mamdani over the outside MSG watch parties, and it turned out that they put the wrong number of people they wanted for the permit. But like it was obvious the whole thing was Dolan going out of his way to like try to prove to people, because like people were blaming Trump for all the issues, all the street closures, all the people who had to be rerouted somewhere. There was no watch party the day that Trump came because they didn't want anyone. Like all those streets were closed for Trump. And so people were blaming Trump, and Trump obviously doesn't like that. And like Dolan was trying to like cover for him, acting as if like that wasn't for Trump, because look, it happened for the game Trump wasn't at. And it's Mamdani and the NYPD's fault for closing these streets that, you know, had nothing to do with Trump, as if like people didn't watch 13 games worth of clips already of people outside MSG with no street closures. Like they really do think people are stupid. Like they really do think they can just wipe people's brains like Men in Black style. Like you did not just see thousands of video clips of people cheering for the Knicks 13 games prior directly outside MSG while watching the big screens we had set up outside MSG with open streets and people literally climbing on top of the subway station signs and jumping off. You didn't see all that. The streets have been closed the entire time. It wasn't Trump's doing. Like, it is insane.
AI.
It is insane. It is insane.
And for him to get there and fall asleep too, like that's got to be
Yes.
insulting. I don't follow this, but goddamn.
To be, first off, to be in Madison Square Garden is like every basketball fan's dream. Like, listen, I am a Los Angeles kid. I'm a Lakers fan, but everyone knows there's certain arenas you get hyped to play in. Everyone gets hyped to play in MSG because everyone's star is going to score 60 points on the Knicks. That's just what happens. But everyone's hyped to play in MSG. It's one of the meccas. You also have like the Rucker up there. Like you have a lot of culture in basketball up there. And so for Donald Trump, and for me, honestly, I'm going to be a little bit more salty about this because even though he's a Knicks fan, I don't think he went to any of the Knicks games prior to the finals, at least in person. But there's a cultural moment happening there too. You're seeing a level of legitimate unity happening in the place where just a couple of months ago, they were trying to tell everyone that having a Muslim mayor is going to cause Sharia law. It's going to cause all this chaos. And not only has he like fulfilled a lot of his promises within like fucking 3 weeks compared to Eric Adams, who was like, oh, I'm going to Tehran because I love New York so much. You had him do things for the public. Like, I believe, you can correct me, I think he's funding like libraries, or like there's like lowering the cost to a lot of other things there for regular everyday people. And then on top of that, his mayoralship has galvanized the New York Knicks to do something they have not done in 53 years. Like, everyone is feeling good and great. And the reminder that we can't even get away for a second from this bullshit administration because they have to plaster their face on every part of American culture is fucking annoying. And then to go to sleep while you're there too is like, what? And they lost. like
the one game. The one game. You could. They can't even argue. Oh, the Knicks lost the next day. The next game too. They came back from 29 points to win the game. That's how bad you guys messed everything up. That's how bad Trump messed everything up. The fact that they were losing by 29 points without Trump there, and then they were like, "Yeah, let's just turn it on and win now."
Yes.
It's like amazing. Like they are. You know, I know it's like a very like lib thing to say. Like it's a very lib meme, I should say, but it's absolutely true. Everything Trump touches turns to shit.
That's true. Avery Wilson was the person who was singing the national anthem on the night that they lost. And so while he was singing, everybody was booing, but of course they weren't booing him. He put out a video saying that he was well aware, and so was Madison Square Garden. They were like, it might be that type of vibe. And but I love that, you know, him being a part of that viral moment, they allowed him to sing the next day for the Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks. The next day, so he was able to sing the next day and kind of get that off his back, because don't nobody want to be attached to Donald Trump and his juju being in the arena and making, you know, bringing all that bad energy, because it wasn't supposed to be centered like that. Even after the game, New Yorkers were wild. Now they always wild, but I just felt like that energy outside after the losing game to, you know, versus the next day with the winning game or the next game with the winning game, and how it was just so different. Donald Trump trying to center himself around every single thing, having the glass all around, having like security, and then people try to combat that by saying, you know, you ever look at Barack Obama sitting front seat, like they, you know, that's bad, but it's like he didn't come to disturb the game. He really came to watch and enjoy the game. So it just always
and
is.
he wasn't
president then.
Yeah.
And he wasn't president then. And he wasn't
That's
president.
the main thing. Yeah.
And he wasn't president
Like
then. Yeah.
the president showing up to events like that is going to be he's going to interrupt how the things flow for everybody else. He's going to be a distraction to whether it be entertainment, so it's performers, or sports, the athletes. It's just the facts. So a lot of times a respectful person would just be like, if I'm going to be a distraction or I'm going to be an inconvenience and it's not necessary for me to be there, like it's not an event where I need to be there as a head of state or something like that, then I'm just not going to fucking go. But this guy puts himself everywhere.
Well, Matt, I will say he had to be there, so he had an excuse to not go to his son's wedding. So that was the reason why he went to that particular Knicks game and not game 4 of the series. And also, like, but talking about Trump and his knee. I'm sorry. Why are we having a UFC match in a White House? Are we literally living in idiocracy?
The whole thing is insane.
Like, that's legitimately from idiocracy. Like, I'm not even being hyperbolic.
Yeah.
It's very
he
surreal
changed
to
the
see
whole
pictures.
what area of the White House did he change up?
I think it's the reflection pool.
Yeah, he did that. He destroyed the East Wing, but the reflection pool. Yeah, and the reflection pool, he painted it bright so it looks like a resort pool, but like it needs to be dark so it can reflect. That's the whole fucking point.
But if there's nothing to symbolize this entire administration better, it is the fact that he's going to the White House, destroying it to shape in his image at the cost of literally everything. Mm-hmm. There are people talking about, like, first off, it's going to be the middle of June. Joe Rogan is concerned. Joe Rogan is concerned about the security and the heat, and the fact that this is outdoors, because you don't do UFC outdoors, you do it indoors. The fact that they're going to have so many people there means that lots of security, or they're going to have to limit who can be there. And then it's like, maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't think you're allowed to do commercial enterprises from the White House. Like, I think there's like a whole rule about that, and we're just violating it to feed some guy's ego.
Oh, he's
violating.
Sorry, I don't really know why we're talking about rules anymore here. Like, I fear that.
That's true.
I think that what's going to happen is it'll be a disaster. All the fighters will get eaten by bugs. Everybody will have mosquito bites. And then he's going to come out with a press conference saying, this is why we need the ballroom.
Look at that thing.
This is the ugliest shit I have ever seen.
It's also supposed to rain heavily, so I'm really curious how that's going to work if that happens. Because if it's blowing, that thing's not going to, like, if the rain's blowing, it's not, that's
it's
not
going to go right through.
This
is don't forget, he did say that they might be keeping that canopy there, kind of like how the Eiffel Tower is still in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to use it again, apparently.
Honestly, fuck it. I'm for it. Keep it there. So that way the normies are like, all right, fuck this guy. Now it's official. I'm pissed. Because it seems like the thing that really broke through to, like, I don't know, maybe the traditional conservative leaning normies is when he destroyed the East Wing, because, you know, they're the people who are traditional. They're the ones who they don't want things to change. So when they saw that, they clutched their pearls and was like, oh, this is our institution. And, you know, maybe things have to get worse before they get better. So if he's going to leave up that monstrosity and it makes people see him as a demon, I'm for it at this point. I feel like, you know,
but does it though?
It's a small price to pay.
But does it make them? I think that we've passed.
Yeah,
that.
it's hard to say.
We really want them to think that, but nobody.
Yeah.
All American people are not like making a ruckus about their sweet White House. If this was any other president, if this was any other administration, they'd be like, you know, that's an abomination. Like that is the worst of the worst you could do. You know, we're Americans. We shouldn't be, you know, destroying historical landmarks. But it's Trump. Like things that we think that they're going to be rallying out, you know, outside about, they're not. Because what he did, they should have been upset about. That crap he did at the, you know, at the correspondence and everything that he's been doing.
I mean, yeah.
Like they should be upset, but we haven't seen any of them, especially with these people who claim to be like patriotic, and I don't see none of that when they're messing up these landmarks that are supposed to be American, you know, America. They're landmarks. I don't see none of that. It ain't
patriotic people do not support Trump. Only blind nationalists, Christian nationalists, because they are neither Christian nor patriots. Patriotism is far different than nationalism.
Yeah,
it is. They are white nationalists, but you would think that they would, like, with all this talk about, you know, this is our country, we can't. They're the same one that scaled the Capitol. We have to remember that this is in them, right? They're looking to start this trouble, and like with all this good that Mamdani is doing in New York City, they Donald Trump really wanted to come and steal the moment. He really wanted to come and take that moment away, like you were saying, you know, from Mamdani, because he right now all the good that's being done over there in Donald Trump's city, right? It's like nobody gives a damn about him. He hates losing. He hates not being seen. He hates not being felt. You're president. This is the mayor of NYC, and jealousy and all of this, and you went over there and tried to be something that you are not. It's not a competition, you know. There's but here everybody is just saying, well, this good is happening with this leadership in New York City. Donald Trump and friends are pushing out so much xenophobia, pushing out so much lies, all the stuff surrounding him, and a lot of the patriotic or the nationalists, the people, they're speaking up so much and wanting to go and oppose him, like leaving their cities to go oppose that. But Donald Trump is over there at the White House, you know, just turning it into another one of his places, his hotels or whatever the fuck. Like it's I really hate what's going on. I always hate what's going on, and that's why I go back and listen to the music from the 90s and the 2000s because that's
it's
the only
nice to live in the
can
past.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comforting, but I'm also curious because the part of my brain that won't shut up is like, I have seen the aftermath of the Knicks winning, people getting a little too rowdy, right? Like, we've seen that in all sports. It happens across sports, soccer, basketball, football, what have you. But my brain goes, there's no way they aren't going to try to use this as a way to say that Mamdani can't keep the streets clean and safe and try to have like the National Guard come in the second the Knicks win, right? Or after they win. Because I saw a thing of what's his Mark Wayne Mullen, which first off, hate his name. But he's been making
It is the worst name in Congress.
it's no some history.
You're either Mark or you're Wayne.
Wayne. But he's making comments that like read between the lines. He's like, yeah, he says something along the lines of he doesn't get along with Mamdani, and he hopes the people of New York will like pick a better leader. And I'm like, I would not be surprised if after let's just say it goes to game 6, if they win in New York, I would not be surprised if they would try to use that aftermath as someone would like, see, this is why we need to have, more control over here, or a National Guard or something of the kind. Because I don't think this administration can let a win happen without trying to appeal to their base, even though this happens all the time. Like, if your team wins, your team loses in the finals or anything, I'm sorry, your city's going to burn for a little bit. That's just what happens. That's how we do sports. But a part of my
all about that, right, Lance?
Well, I mean, Montreal would too, not just Vancouver. He's making fun of the fact that the 2 times that our city is rioted full on. You need police gear it's because we lost the Stanley Cup twice, and that's the 2 riots in Vancouver have been that. Outside of that, it was a race riot against Chinese people, but after the race riot against Chinese people, it was 2 sports riots.
What a caveat!
Yeah.
Also the most Canadian thing I've ever heard in my life. You have 2 riots over hockey. That's
hockey.
I love that so much. I love it so much. Oh man.
What a riot here, no one would notice.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Do we ever? No, Will, we don't want to know if you don't want to say. But what state are you in?
Who?
Oh, me?
No,
Kowalski's from Nebraska.
Oh, I didn't know that. And I'm like, why does it look so bright over there?
Majestic, really.
Well, the
greenery
sun is still setting, so yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
in
it's
an
still
endless expanse of corn north of Grand Island, which
That is
is
beautiful.
the
Must be nice.
third largest.
It sounds
metropolitan
beautiful.
area in the state. Actually, where I live isn't bad because I'm pretty close to the Platte River, so like, there's wildlife there, gentle flowing water. We've actually been getting a lot of rain lately, so like the river's full, the fish are back, the birds are happy, the cows are
Nice.
happy, the grass is really green now. All the fires are finally out because like 1 million acres burned about 3 months ago.
Jesus.
It's another thing. The fires, the ash in the air, that also sucked. Climate change is being a real
Climate change.
pain. We should have just kept it the same. I'm sorry. We need to not change.
I agree.
But I heard climate change wasn't real. So now I'm confused.
Yeah,
If it
the
isn't
climate's
real,
always
the
been
Farmer's
changing.
Almanac would have to have a word with
That's
you.
true.
Yeah. I remember back in 2020 when Oregon had really bad wildfires. I was watching on my phone the air quality index like go up and up and up. And it goes from like 0 to 400, if I'm remembering correctly, with 400 being hazardous. And then one night it reached like 560. And I'm like, are we going to suffocate and die? Like, this is kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it hasn't been that bad since, at least, in Portland. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because like little by little, it's crazy to think about how this is going to be pretty much the norm. And a lot of us in North America are going to be much more insulated than people in, the Middle East, in sub-Saharan Africa. The UK is going to get fucked up.
Have you seen the pictures of India right now, where it's just like most of India, it's like human life cannot like exist in these pictures. Yeah, like,
Actually, the situation in India terrifies me. India and southern China. And actually, no, northern China too, because northern China is going through an extensive drought. They have massive water shortages. Do you know that people in northern China have about the same water availability as Saudi Arabia? I had
Do
no
they
idea
really?
they
I didn't
had
know that.
Much of they're working on some massive engineering projects to divert more water that way, but it'll like take more water from India. Oh yeah, the glaciers in the Himalayas are dying. So that's only supplying water to like 2 billion people. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just consume.
And Trump is threatening to bomb desalination plants in the Gulf, which is, I mean, they need those to survive because, for those who don't know, it's a very dry region. So if that happens, a lot of people don't get water. 3 days. I didn't know that. 3 days.
7 million people would have to move 400 kilometers.
Jesus.
And that's what's so frightening is the inevitable conclusion is that as things change and what is it like there were some estimates that by 2100 regions of Saudi Arabia are going to be uninhabitable. We have to open the doors to immigrants. Like we did this. So like the United States, you know, big powerhouse, big polluter. We can't just close the door after destroying the country. We have to welcome these people. We have no choice. But at a time when we should be like open-minded and be at least like a little bit more receptive to the idea of welcoming climate refugees in, like xenophobia is at a height, not just here in Canada, in the United Kingdom. It's fucking insane. It's just, it's so...
Well, there's a whole thing. I mean, we can get into the UK, but basically, do you guys know what's going on in the UK? Because it's in Ireland, because it's fucking insane. It started in Ireland, and now it's like spreading across. So I have this friend in Britain, and he was like, "Hey, so this Sudanese immigrant who's in his late 30s stabbed a white man in the face in Ireland." And the video is going really viral and it's not looking good. So I looked into it. Video is really bad. The video is like the Sudanese man is over this white man, and like the video is incredibly graphic. Like his whole entire face is bludgeoned and he's just like stabbing him and just saying like very incoherent things, like yelling incoherent stuff. So then Northern Ireland has basically been in a race war for multiple days now. No one's really talking about it. So the far right wing of Irish people now, some Irish people are saying that it's British people that are just starting chaos.
It's British nationalists. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's what people are saying, but I can't find official reporting on it, so I just don't want to say that. You know what I mean? But like, if you talk to Irish people, they say it's the British starting shit. But essentially, what's happening is this group of like super ultra right wing people are going to house, door to door, and finding immigrants and setting their houses on fire, setting their cars on fire. They're pulling them out of their houses. It got to a point where the SWAT had to literally come in and grab the people and put them in SWAT cars because they started hunting immigrants down, quite literally hunting immigrants down across Northern Ireland. They've been having standoffs with riot police. And like Irish people have come out and said like, listen, we condemn this, like we don't agree with this, right? So the majority of Irish people are like, hey, this is not, like, we don't agree with this. But there's this right-wing faction that's basically like they're using this as essentially their excuse to you know, go super anti-immigrant. But then it also spread to Scotland. So I had my followers messaging me articles of mosques going in shutdown and mosques completely shutting down and SWAT surrounding mosques because they were trying to raid mosques and set mosques on fire while people were inside praying. And so it's kind of like starting to spread from Northern Ireland to Scotland to the UK. And it's kind of becoming that one, like, obviously the video is horrendous. It's horrible. It's not a good video, right? And obviously it went viral because it was so gruesome. I don't think anyone agrees with what happened in that video, but it's also the one example they're using in order to spread massive hate across the countries. And it's honestly turning into a really fucking bad shit show. Like, if Northern Ireland doesn't control their shit soon, like, this is gonna like, get bad.
It's like a Reichstag fire moment, because part of
I was really about to say that.
Yeah, part of it is that in the video, there was clearly an altercation that wasn't caught on film between the dude and the immigrant, and the dude was stabbed. But the reason why they're so pissed is because they feel like they assumed that the white dude who got stabbed was the one who was being bigoted, like instigating this, and they didn't take the fact that he was stabbed and seriously. And the argument that they're using is, oh, it's because he's white. And the Nigel Farage, who's the leader of the Reform Party, said this is a war on white people. And you see that rhetoric being spread. I know that Rachel Atwood in the chat said it's also being amplified by Elon Musk and Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
using that incident to
Conor
really say,
McGregor too.
yeah. So it's turning into the situation
All the
where
brightest minds.
white people are under attack. And it's the same people who spread the white genocide claims about South Africa, Elon Musk. It's just
Also
this
Elon Musk.
white victim complex.
While,
and it's
while
turning
we were
into
doing this,
Go
while
ahead.
we were doing this podcast, Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire in the midst of this.
Yeah,
episode.
I saw that. Yes,
Just in
I saw that.
the recording of this podcast.
So SpaceX went public, I take it.
Yes.
Say goodbye to your
SpaceX went
401ks, people.
Yeah.
Say bye.
we're-
That's a whole different can of worms.
It's the fact that we have been forced to look at that South African piece of shit for as long as we've had, and the fact that he has such an outsized impact on this country and the world is fucking insane to me. This man, more than anyone else, is the, if I might use a gaming term, is the biggest fucking LARPer out there. Like, he's not some genius. He's not this fantastical engineer. He is essentially a grifter who got lucky because I think prior to becoming PayPal, it was like some other shit. And he basically got a golden parachute when they kicked him out and just used that money to buy his way into Tesla. And now because of that, we have to deal with all of his shit. All he does is retweet and amplify Nazi dog whistles. That's it. And now he's a trillionaire. I'm like, this is like...
We're
is
at
the
the
world we
mercy
live
of these
in.
people, right? Because
Yeah.
like when you have that much wealth, when you have the GDP of a fucking country, not even a small country anymore, of a like mid-sized country, you get to basically do whatever the fuck you want without consequence. So we just have to hope that all the billionaires that run the world are going to be not Nazis. Otherwise, Nazism is going to be the status quo. Like Elon Musk got pissed off because his daughter came out as trans, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to destroy the
Twitter.
world now. It's fucking insane. And yeah, I don't even know. The trillionaire news is kind of surreal because I didn't, it's not that I didn't expect it. It's just like, man, we reached a point in our dystopia where it's like, I feel like it's a new like dystopia high score. I don't know. It's crazy.
I just feel, honestly, I feel bad for all those like satirists out there, like anyone who worked on like Black Mirror or like The Onion, because it's like there's nothing you can put out now that isn't just plausible.
That comes close. Yeah,
Right.
I found out the other day that Pokemon Go was used to use geolocation tracking
For
software,
trends.
able to train weapon systems to mass kill people with AI. I was like, what? That was Pokemon Go? I was like, yeah, it was really effective. It got millions of people to basically train cameras with AR, and they used all that data to make advanced weapon systems to kill people. I'm like, that's
And we
so
helped.
much than anything Shakira has thought of. Anything.
That is such an Onion headline though. Like that
Right?
is an Onion
Right.
headline, pure print it. And this is just our reality now. We are living in a constant dystopia. What do you guys have heard about that? God, it's not Kalshi. It's like another like a betting site where
Polymarket?
people. No, not Polymarket. It's like a. I can look it up, but it's a betting site where you can just get. It's kind of like, imagine like Polymarket and Fiverr had an unholy union.
Oh, to pay people to do anything?
Yeah. And it's
Oh,
like, make a bet.
Pump that fun.
Yes. And I'm like, this is it. Like, this is post late stage capitalism. I saw a man tattoo something on his forehead, and because he spelled it wrong, they're like, we're not giving you the money. And he tattooed it. I saw a guy saying, like, I'm sorry, while having rubber band over his face like 500,000 times just to earn like $1,500.
Yeah, and that was like 2 hours of him sitting there with the watermelons
Yes.
having to sing over and over. Yeah.
Well,
And
I've
it's
never
like-
heard of this. So
Yeah,
they're
it's so
making
cool.
poor people do things for money, for
Yes,
entertainment?
yeah,
Yes.
and the more shocking, the more embarrassing, the more degrading. They get voted up on the website, so you can actually start seeing like upvotes for like, oh yeah, get this guy to shock his balls with a taser. He's so poor, it's gonna be so funny. Yeah,
It seems like it should be illegal.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Like,
saying.
how can that even be done?
That sounds like a lot of things. A lot of things should be illegal.
It feels
So
just
we have
a tiny bit exploitative, if you,
just a smidge.
you ask
Like
me.
I thought we were having. I thought things were bad when the kick streamer died on camera because he was being tortured for entertainment for like days on end. But then I found that out. I'm like, oh, we're in hell. If let alone besides the fact that we're using prediction markets as some sort of news site like Polymarket's like, oh, Karen Bass is gonna. I was like, I don't know why I'm using Polymarket to find out about,
I will say though that
outcomes.
predictions are pretty spot on because what people tend to put money on is like what usually ends up being right.
That in itself was a problem, though.
No, I know it's a problem, but like
that's not new. People have been using
never
Vegas
really
gambling
been
markets for political polling data for a long time. Like that one is them using it and just adding cryptocurrency and the ability to bet on war crimes. That's the new part, right?
Yeah,
like you never used to. In Vegas, you couldn't bet on like will Gaza last 3 months kind of thing, whereas you can do that on Polymarket and Kelch and stuff.
Now that you're ruining sports. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say. I think you had mentioned idiocracy earlier.
Yeah.
I've always held this point with idiocracy. It is actually a utopia because no one there is being malicious.
That's true.
They found the smartest man on the planet in prison, and they made him the Secretary of the Interior.
That's so true. Yeah,
Mancho brought him right up. He did not waste time.
And actually, when they found out that what he had done caused mass unemployment, they were going to kill him in a spectacle arena for the entire public to enjoy. But then when they found out that he was not responsible for it, the president ended up resigning to make him the president to fix all of the problems of the country. So it was a true meritocracy, and everybody there had the best interest in heart. They were
my
just
God,
really,
that's so
really
true.
Stupid.
That's so
We're
true.
just dealing with evil people.
Yeah.
That's funny. I've never heard that take. I always hear people talk about how it's all like about eugenics and stuff like that, but that's funny. I like that.
Yeah, he's totally right though. They did do that. It's like
He's
when people
right.
talk about
it.
We're living in 1984, and I'm like, I don't think you read the book. I keep always like, oh, we're in 1984 because I'm like, we're in 1984 because Palantir is a thing. This is why we're getting 1984, where the government is wiping out people, kidnapping people from their homes, and telling you do not trust your eyes. Like they're telling you how to speak. You can't say anything negative about Israel, or you go straight to Guantanamo. I'm like, we are living in a hellscape. And everyone's looking at us, raising the alarm and going, you guys are crazy. And I'm like, Peter Thiel is literally creating a company called Palantir. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you have these nerds who think they're so cool with the people because, yes, Peter Thiel, I have also read or heard of Lord of the Rings. I know what Palantir is. We know what it is. We get it. You want to spy on everyone. But we're now just like, okay with it because we have no choice. If you want to be in this society, it's like, well, you got to give me your blood samples. You got to let me track you everywhere. You got to, be okay with the fact that you don't own anything ever. And it's techno feudalism is what we're in.
And
right
that
now.
same guy, Peter Thiel, he like paused to think about whether or not when he was asked during the interview with Ross Douthat of the New York Times. Like he was asked, do you want humanity to survive? And he was like, well, like he had to think about it. And I don't know what he said eventually. I think he said kinda, but like this dude is like these are the kinds of people who are ruling us right now. Like just these absolute misanthropic demons who care about nothing but the survival of, their class, people who they think are worthy of like living. They want to leave us to go to Mars or live in some like fucking bunker while the rest of society burns to the ground in part because of what they did. It's like the stuff of a movie just happening like in a longer fucking process. It's gross.
He also fled the country and is in Argentina.
Oh, that's true.
Which I found interesting. So I'm like, if only there was another group of people who were responsible for the downfall of society who then fled their country and also ended up in Argentina. I wonder if there's any overlap with the ideologies of these people.
Yeah, it's the people. If I'm remembering correctly, it's the people that like to give their hearts to people, right?
Yes, it's the real victims of that war that supposedly hurt people.
Right.
Like it's so infuriating to be consistently reminded, no matter how many times you've been taught, do good things will happen, et cetera, that you are seeing the worst people being consistently rewarded and then protected. Like they will let, like what we did to Bush. Everyone's trying to redo George Bush and whitewash him. He's just a cool guy who paints. And I'm like, the guy got a shoe thrown at him for a reason. He's not some cool chill guy.
Paints.
Yeah, like because that's what they were showing his like paintings and stuff with like Michelle Obama. And I'm like, did he not fabricate an entire war? I'm like, are we? Did we not do war crimes? Like, are we? What are
Forgetting
we?
about the torture and the death of like a million Iraqis. It's
like
crazy.
Extraordinary rendition. I'm like, why are we acting as if he's a cool, chill guy now? Why are we trying to be like, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's one of us? I'm like, no, liberal, stop doing this. She's not.
Right.
She literally retired the minute her pension kicked in. She was not going to.
I actually would argue that it's not liberals, it's more leftists that are doing that. Like I've seen leftists say like, oh well, Candace Owens, blah 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 blah, or like Tucker Carlson, da 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 da.
I wouldn't call Anna Kasparian a leftist necessarily.
Yeah,
sounds like who you're.
Well, I don't give a fuck about her. Like I haven't followed Anna Kasparian in like literal years.
Who are you talking about? That who's a leftist that's doing that?
Like on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm not saying
there's like a lot of leftists in my ether that are like resharing Candace.
It's more like the
Owens
Jimmy Dore left, though. You know, kind of like the dumb left.
They're really sharing who, Ariane?
Like Candace Owens and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they're like, oh my god, she's getting it. I
thought they left her behind. I see people who are like that try to share her stuff to, say, y'all don't like the mess. I see that all the time. Y'all don't like the messenger, when she always says something that's like partially
just like a little like not brain rotted completely. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, here's my thing. Like, Candace Owens can go eat shit like forever and always. I understand she sat down with Hunter Biden and she, I don't know, had a heart to heart with him, and she was like, sorry, I called you a crackhead. Like, there was this whole mosque shooting at the New Zealand. Yeah. And in that mosque shooters, it was one of the most devastating mass shootings in New Zealand's history. Women, children, everyone got shot and killed. And in his manifesto, he was like, Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens motivated me. So Candace Owens spent years. She made millions of dollars peddling anti-Islamophobic horse shit when it was cool to do it. Now that it's not cool to be an Islamophobic freak, now she's kind of like hopping on that bandwagon, even though everyone wants to act like she's seen the light. But it's like, no, there's a lot of people on the left, like from the liberal spectrum all the way to the super ultra left, that are literally like, oh my god, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, they're getting it. And it's like,
I would question those people's motivations.
Yeah, I've only seen like the Jacobin kind of, the anti-woke.
It's every season. It's going to be I see this all the time with whoever is the latest grifter or whatever. They get something right, and then somebody or some people, usually from the left, this is since I've been in politics for the last 10 years, it's always people who are going to be like, they're finally getting it. Girl, that always is. It's never going to not be a thing.
This is losing chess to a dog, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're telling me Tucker, what's going on? How did we get here? Like Tucker Carlson is now some sort of like seen the light, and I'm like, this guy. Tucker Carlson is one of the most obvious grifters, and I lose my mind every time he speaks. And people are like, he said this is demonic. I'm like, oh, so now because Christian nationalism is on the rise, now everything is demonic. Now you were attacked by a demon. Tucker, you have big dogs. You sleep with your dogs
in his bed with him at night when he sleeps. But it was a demon.
Candace Owens, I remember when she was getting booted about last year sometime. She went on this black tour. She was going on black radio. She was going on black television, and I was like, that's where the problem lies. I think with the people who are left, or people who consider themselves to be extreme Democrats, or all blue and nothing but blue. It's like, y'all got to know where to not let people in the door. Everybody can't come to the cookout. You cannot let everybody be at the party. You can't let everybody be at the barbecue. You can't, whatever it is, like people who have shown you who they are. You just got to really go with that. I believe people do
Yes.
change in real life and stuff, but people who have sat 10 toes down for years and told you all the worst things about yourself
And never
you can't
apologized
tell
for
me
it.
that
And never
when-
had like a
Never.
moment where they admitted what they
No.
did and it was wrong. Like you had to be able to be that kind of person who's actually going to change, like a Tucker. If he's actually going to change, he has to come clean with who he was, what he's been doing, and admit. And still at that
their
point, I'm not saying
version of
anyone
coming
should watch
clean,
Tucker, but like you
their
have to at
version of
least have
coming
that.
clean is like how what's that lady name that one time and she was just like, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? For that
Yeah,
2
yeah.
seconds. I'm gonna give an example. Remember when she was just like, I finally see who Trump is. After he done booted her, now it's like I
Yeah.
finally see who Trump is, right?
When my
And then
pension
people
kicked in.
Try to like,
Yeah.
you know who had her back though? White leftist women, the blue bracelet wearing women. They were the ones who were saying like, you know what? But hear her out though. Like she was abused. Like she was in a like Trump abused her. She really didn't know, and now she knows. And I don't think we should turn our back on her. She can be an ally, and that's why we can't have nothing because
No.
everybody keeps letting these people in as soon as they're like, oh, because immediately after she's continued to peddle all of this xenophobic, anti-black, just all this stuff right after still signing bills and sitting down and wanting a lot of laws to pass that were anti-people, anti-trans, like LGBTQ, all the things. So it's like they do the least, and that's my problem with a lot of people who are very loud online and who, I'm putting this in quotation marks, who represent the left. They also will platform these people, have these conversations, and try to be like, you know what, we're just all people at the end of the day, and that's not true. That's not true.
No. Because my bank account didn't grow 10,000 times while I was telling people to deport illegals, right? Like there's this need on like the left to constantly redeem people, which again, I'm for redemption, but like David was hinting at, there has to be some contrition from the other person. They can't suddenly come to Jesus when it's the most convenient time. Like you can't tell me Marjorie Taylor Greene is now truly an enemy of Trump. I was like, well, of course she is. He dumped her. She has no dog in this fight now. Her money's safe. She probably has some speaking deals or some book deals lined up. Like once they're taken care of, like who was it? Shit. Who just lost? It was a Republican who was going against like Trump's orders. He lost his seat to like AIPAC.
Thomas Massey.
Yeah, Massey, right? Massey was voted with them, and then the second he got booted, it's like, you know what? Actually, fuck these guys. I'm going to vote for things that's morally correct now. And I'm like, yeah, because you have no financial incentive. But now we are seeing that these people will only change or will only show their true selves when they're financially free. If you don't have any sort of like tie-ups like these political organizations, yeah, sure, I'm going to tell you that, you know what, actually getting rid of a bunch of illegals that we deemed illegal is bad for the economy. We should try to do things for the public. But as long as they are financially incentivized, they're going to be like Tucker Carlson. They're going to be like Candace Owen. Like Candace Owen especially, which I do not claim her. All right. Candace Owen, that's not one of ours. She's made it very clear she's not with the community, that she doesn't like to be black. I'm like, that's fine and great. But then she will utilize that to be like, oh, I'm spilling the tea with the girls. And it's like, you're just doing it again. But now the face of it is, instead of talking about how, I don't know, talking about people with Afghanistan, you're not talking people with Israel. And that's why you and the Daily Wire had the outs.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Everyone, I love you all. I have to take off very quickly. Unfortunately, I gotta go. But I was awesome seeing everybody, and also all these amazing guests.
It was nice to meet you, Lance.
Yes, thanks for inviting me.
Take care,
I'm
Lance.
gonna head out too. I got work
Yeah.
in the morning, but it was great seeing you guys. Lance, hope you healed great. Great to see our boy come in. He be dropping off every time he need to go.
Yeah, we lost David.
Yeah, and so, but nice to meet you guys. Also, nice to see you, Kowalski. Nice to see you, Matt. I've missed you. How's your baby doing?
Good. She turned 1 year old yesterday.
Already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, time flies
You just
by.
had her yesterday.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It's
A
crazy.
year has passed since we discovered this.
Yeah,
Other people's kids should not make me feel old, but it happens
It's
consistently.
true. It's true.
I swear to God.
It's true. But good to see you, Ari. All right, guys, I'm out. Nice to
You
see
take
you.
care,
Mike, too.
Rebecca.
Love you guys.
Bye.
See you next Thursday.
See ya.
Bye.
Well, we'll go ahead and transition to super chats, but for both
I'll
of
hang
our
around.
guests.
I've got nothing for an hour. So.
All right. So for the people who are watching who duck out here, let me give both of our guests a chance to tell them where to find them, starting with TTBN.
Yes, thank you. You can find me at YouTube at TTBN Gaming. You can also find me on Blue Sky and Twitter, the same handle. That's pretty much all the places I utilize. I try to do Instagram. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm not a posting kind of guy. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Awesome. All right, Kowalski, tell the people where to find you.
On YouTube, Prairie Fire, Neb, as in Nebraska. But Nebraska was somehow taken, but Neb wasn't. I don't know. And that is it. You can also find me just in a tractor, possibly, if you're going through Nebraska. So that's it.
Somewhere in Nebraska on a tractor. All right. Well, thank you both so much. Again, you're both free to stay. You don't have to stay through super chats, but it was nice having you if you are staying or going either way. So yeah, we'll go ahead and
yeah, I can stay a little bit longer. I have nothing else to do.
Nice. Okay. Hell yeah. All right, Ariana, do you want to start with yours?
I have like 3 super chats, and one of them is about Kowalski. So.
All right. Well, Matt, did you want to go or did you want me to go?
You could go.
Okay. So first one here is from. Oh wait, 1 sec.
Wait, can I go first? Is that okay? I'm sorry. Can I? I'm so sorry. I'm so
No,
sorry.
we want you to wait for all of us to go, and then.
I'm so
and
guys.
go.
I'm so fucking tired.
Before 1 sec.
Have you
tell me who
also
your
been
first
doing
one is,
field work
Ariana?
since 6 o'clock?
I've been, oh my God, this week I've been doing in-person events like literally every single fucking day. Like as the midterms are getting closer, one thing I will say, I do think a lot of these candidates are, after Zoran's campaign, I think they're starting to realize how valuable content creators are, because the amount of candidates that have been like reaching out, trying to do like a lot of interviews and stuff like that. My thing is though, I'm very picky on who I endorse, because I used to do phone baking for Fetterman. Like after that shit, I'm like, nah. After that shit, I'm like, you really gotta, like, that's why with Graham Plattner, I'm like, I can't, like, I'm just like,
hey, at least with your Fetterman thing, you can at least know that you got Supreme Court justices on the bench that did some good. So people don't feel bad about Fetterman. He'll be gone in 2028.
And he did have a stroke, and the stroke made him conservative.
No, he also has a really very specific heart condition that does not give him a long lifespan. So I already know all of that, but
Wait, Fetterman?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a very specific heart condition that's basically probably going to make him croak at some point.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
The
that.
problem takes care of itself.
That's good to know.
I have consulted with doctors about that condition, and they were like, yeah, I don't know how he's still alive, so.
Sometimes Lord Satan wants his demons back sooner.
The thing is, these politicians get the best fucking healthcare, and that's the thing, like, they all bitch and moan about socialism, but it's like, the healthcare you get is literally socialism. Maternity and paternity leave is socialism. The student loan forgiveness that you fuckers get, that's socialism. The food stipend that you get, a lot of people don't know this, but members of Congress get a $70 food stipend every single day just to spend on food. A day.
I didn't even know this.
$70 a day. Yeah. So do you know the difference it could make for an average family if the average family had $70 a month extra for food? Oh,
Yeah.
no, but your congressperson needs $70 a day just to.
Yeah, but that's $480 a month per
Yeah.
congressman.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Wow.
Which is like triple what the average American person spends on groceries. Whatever. Anyways, there's so much about the shit that they get that is flat out socialism. But then like they reap all of these benefits they enjoy it, like someone like Caroline Levitt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like when their constituents want to also, his wife is such a fucking bird. Like behind every single one of these dumbass conservative men is a bird. It's a bird bitch. You with these Republicans, for some reason, it's all POC women being birds. Like I just honestly,
Oh, you know why?
I don't relate.
Oh, it's easy. It's real quick. The reason why a lot of these guys have, well, for the women it is proximity to whiteness, but for the men, it is quite simply because what they say in public is not what they truly feel. They will talk about, like birth rates and why we're a traditional family, but they are not attracted to the things they should be attracted to. So for them, it's a mutual. It's like, hey, I get the fetish. I get to have like JD Vance. JD Vance gets to have the.
I genuinely think it's the fetish because the amount of Israeli men that have tried to hit on me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I think it's a fetish. I genuinely think this is all a fetish. I really do.
A lot of it is fetishizing, Orientalism. A lot of it exoticism. A lot of it is specifically that. But a lot of it too is these guys are grifters. So they could have held these beliefs before and then got the person they're with. And now it's like, now you're stuck with me.
You know
JD
what?
Vance hated Trump.
I actually don't think that Fetterman is a grifter. I think Fetterman is fully about this life. I think he's fully about the. It's funny because he did this interview or some shit recently. I don't remember where it's from, but he was basically like, people hate me because I wear sweaters. And it's like, no, dude, we hate you because you're a genocidal fucking moron. It has literally nothing to do with the sweaters that you wear. And the one time that you did wear a suit was to see the leader of another country.
That's right.
Listen, I'm not one of those people that's like, if you love that country, go move there, because that's obviously really fucked up to say. But like in John Fetterman's situation, I'm like, why are you even a senator? Like, why are you still in America? If you love Israel so much, like you could get the same fucking benefits in Israel and get out of our fucking hair so we can vote in a new Democrat. Like, listen, I'm not. This is my hottest take. I'm not about occupying Israeli land, but like with Fetterman specifically, I'm like, please, just.
You guys heard it here first. We're all against occupying the West Bank, except for the sole reason of sending John Fetterman over there. Fetterman's allowed to go to the synagogues and do the auctions. No one else, though.
Also, somebody made a good point about your bird comment. For some conservatives, it's pronounced beards that they have as well for their wives. So just
I think half of
noted.
Republicans just need to accept that they want to suck dick. I feel like some of the problems would go away if they just did that. And then the other half, I fear they've just. I was going somewhere with that and I totally forgot. But I just, I am just really, I'm really tired. I don't know. For me, it takes, long story short, it takes a lot for me to endorse you. It takes a lot for me to post you. If I post a candidate, it genuinely means that I don't know, fucking Graham Plattner was a part of some Black Hawk shit in 2018 and he had a Nazi tattoo that he got covered, Blackwater, excuse me. And then he had a Nazi tattoo that he covered and everyone's like, this oyster farmer is the one. And I'm like, the saxophones are starting to play because we've gone through this before. Fetterman shot a black man. Fetterman chased a black man in the street and tried to shoot him. And we all ignored it because we were like, well, the black man said it was cool. So, that's our best choice. The saxophones are starting to play with Graham Plattner. You know what, guys? This is virtual fake Kalshi. I'm willing to bet $10 that Graham Plattner, there's a 90% chance he's going to be the next Fetterman, barring a stroke. I'm not convinced. Sorry, I'm not convinced.
I believe Plattner. He seems genuine to me. I have talked to him
agree.
once. I think he is a person that has understood what had happened to him at that point in his life, realized the system really screwed him over, and wants to fix it. It's hard to explain, but I think he can communicate for a lot of people living in areas that are not, I guess, as urban maybe. But I mean, a lot of the things he's talked about, he doesn't glorify his military service anymore. He said the only part about it that he basically likes now is the people that he met.
He did just say though that he fought for our freedom when he was in Iraq, and like this man served at Abu Ghraib. So I'm with Ariana. I've already kind of talked about Fetterman
said a lot
before,
of
so
weird shit, dog. Like he said
yeah, there's a lot of red flags. I'm with Ariana. I think there's like a 90%
women who have
chance.
come out and said that he also assaulted them. Are we all gonna ignore that too?
There's not multiple women who say that. There's one single woman who says that.
Yeah, that one woman was literally a GOP plant.
Yeah, I will agree with them on that one. The woman who made the claim also lied about Mahmoud Khalil, and she started like a whole women for Brett Kavanaugh and defended him during the Christine Blasey Ford allegations. So I don't think that, I think that one is complete bullshit. But with that being said, I agree with you about the red flags. Like I think that for purposes of harm reduction, I understand why people would support him over Susan Collins, because fuck Susan Collins. I hope that Susan Collins loses, because I want somebody who is a Zionist to get out of there. But you know, if he ends up winning and he is not a Fetterman, awesome. I still feel like it is, for me, after like doing this for so long, after living through disappointment with Obama, disappointment with Fetterman, Tulsi Gabbard, like all these people, it's like seeing him accept his nomination and like, I fought for your freedom. And if you look at his platform, it's like, I'm going to strengthen
the military
recruitment for the military. It's like, okay. I've seen this story before, so I'm just going to not say anything.
Shipbuilding. Like the shipbuilding thing, though, is a genuinely good industrial policy that would have massive secondary effects that would be good for all of New England.
I mean, that's great. That's great. He can have great policy. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have any red flags. And like, listen, if you're in Maine and you need to do a harm reduction vote, I'm not judging you. Vote for Graham.
Yeah,
Patrick.
I agree.
All I'm saying is that I'm also not going to use my platform to promote him either, because I don't.
And that's
trust
where I'm
it.
at too.
And
Yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry. And I'm
fair.
sorry, everyone is smoking dick if they think I'm going to platform a man that had a Nazi tattoo cover up. That's fucking insane. I'm sorry. That's insane. That's crazy.
You know what, though? I think the Plattner, I guess, problem really speaks to the issues we have in this country in terms of building a coalition, right? Because there are levels to things that like women or people of color have to accept that like white straight dudes don't have to think about. Like Plattner having a Nazi tattoo, which we can all agree, at least here, that Nazis are bad, but the harm of that is magnified throughout marginalized communities than just like white guys. So like you'll see a lot of online leftists who will be like, we have to overlook that because we need to beat the enemy, which I understand, but I can't shade people who are like, I am too uncomfortable with the idea that someone would get that tattooed on their body. Because like
I don't think you have to overlook. I don't think you have to overlook the tattoo, because the tattoo is completely part of his whole story, and that's that this was a guy who was deeply embedded with the military, and had completely turned around in terms of, or for the most part, has turned around in terms of what he had done over there.
Plus, the context of him getting it was he and his unit were on shore leave in the broken up Yugoslavia. Like,
yeah, it was a drunk tattoo.
In their early
there's been nothing in his background that ever has pointed to him being an actual Nazi or right winger or anything like that. It's just that this is not me just talking bullshit. I've been covering white supremacists and neo-Nazi groups and all this. This was my whole area of expertise for many years.
I'm not.
Now, like,
I don't think he was.
Is definitely telling the truth in terms of like, this is like, there are multiple military people who get these type of tattoos overseas without realizing in their late teens, early 20s what this signifies. We're not talking about a swastika.
But don't you think his explanation for it was really bad? Like if you
the timing seems off.
No. I mean, like
how long he didn't know.
No. He said when he talked about how he didn't know, he's like, I didn't know what it was. Me and my military buddies, we went over there to get something to represent our time in overseas in Iraq, and we got a skull and crossbones to represent like what we did. It's like, oh, so you got a tattoo because you wanting to represent the killing that you did there. Like that to me is like,
well, I mean, a lot of people get a skull across.
He didn't get a rose or a butterfly. He got a skull.
That's all
That's all you. I'm sorry, a white man getting a skull tattoo in Iraq during an occupation, like that's all you guys. Like,
yeah, he had no right to be there. We wouldn't, and we also wouldn't overlook an IDF soldier or an ICE agent. So that's just, I'm just saying, like, be cautious. That's my thing. And I'm with Ariana. It's like, listen, I am not going to be a wrecker. I know leftists really like him because he has a great platform in certain areas, but I don't want to. I'm not going to like.
I don't
push
think you
him,
really got to like him. I think people are being untruthful about him. There's certainly questionable things about his background.
White men,
but people, what was that?
I'm also kind of tired of making excuses for white men. Like, you got a skull tattoo in Iraq when you were occupying land, so it's like, what's the conversation?
Right, but how many people are actually making the war argument other than like a few progressive and leftists? Most people are trying to push that this guy had some sort of Nazi background. There's nothing in his background that points to him being a white supremacist in that way at all.
There's a lot of bullshit attacks from Zionists and establishment, Democrats who are totally disingenuous
of anything anti-Semitic, anything anti-black. In fact, those old Reddit posts that people pulled up about him as sort of a gotcha. The guy was like talking about feminism and Black Lives Matter, and he was pro it. And this was before he was running or anything. This is not the type of ideology or even rhetoric you would hear from someone who was a neo-Nazi or a white supremacist.
But he was also talking about how much he enjoyed killing, literally, on Reddit. That's why it's so crazy.
I think you will find that a lot of
gonna make for that. Oh, he's just a guy.
It's not an excuse.
Was in the military.
Y'all kill people when we're young in occupied land.
That's totally normal.
Not an excuse, but we're talking about soldiers who have PTSD, and there's this whole sort of we could just say it, toxic masculinity issue where they got to have some sort of bravado about what they did over there. I mean, clearly he's not the same person, but that's what it was. Without a doubt, my whole point, though. Also, from my understanding too, is that his he saw a lot of people die. This guy definitely had,
because he was a machine gunner in part.
Yeah,
but like his unit saw a lot of deaths. And you listen, in my point of view of this has always been that the United States government sends these young men out there to die based on lies. And we can sit here a Monday morning quarterback about how stupid they were.
But he's like, I'm gonna go 4 times and then join Blackwater. That's the thing. It's like, most soldiers are like, that was fucked up. I'm done. And he's like, no, I want to go again, bitch. Like
that shit warps your mind, man. It really fucks with you.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not saying this from my understanding. I have no experience in the military, but I can only imagine what seeing people get blown to fucking smithereens and seeing their brains open up on the floor. I can only imagine what that does to someone.
Which is why, and I'll concede you those points. Which is why you have to be
to go occupy the middle. Like, I'm sorry. Like, am I supposed to feel remorse for it? Like, I don't.
No one's asking. I don't think anyone's asking you to hear
the argument, though. Like, I don't.
I don't think anyone's asking you to feel remorse, but I think you do need to look. I think you do need to look at that. Listen, there's no way anyone in the year 2026 or even 50 years in the future is going to win any sort of election by not understanding that point of view. Like there is no meaningful contingent of people who are anti soldiers, like the people in the military. So it's a losing proposition to not even come from that point of view to understand.
Well, it's not,
while being anti-military industrial complex, while being anti-war. Because they are the cogs in the machine that are tricked and propagandized to believe this stuff. They are victims of this too. They're not the most victimized. Obviously, those are the innocent people who get slaughtered overseas, but they are.
But like, it's not, and that's one thing that I want to push back on, because people make this claim, and people have said this about me as well. Because I did like one video about Grand Platinum. I'm like, okay, there's too many red flags there. Green flags, yes, but red flags too. But like, it's not that you're being anti-vet, because yes, military culture in America is ubiquitous, right? It's everywhere. But we've supported leftists who are vets like Isaiah Jones. I brought him on my show like
There's
3
Greg
times.
Stoker. There's
Yeah.
there's Abby Martin's partner.
Yeah, Mike Preisner, who have talked
Preisner, yeah.
extensively about how the things that they did were really terrible. And the thing that is a little bit different with Graham Plattner is that he went 4 times and then joined Blackwater. And that is, to me, something that I can't just like brush aside. It's a significant red flag, despite all the good things he says about trans rights, despite talking about genocide. I can't overlook that, so I have to treat him like I would Kamala Harris. It's a matter of like harm reduction.
Thank
Yes,
you.
she's going to do
Thank you.
terrible shit, but I can pull a Chapo Roan and be like, I'm not going to endorse you, but you know, I hope you win. Like, that's kind of, I think that's a reasonable stance. But when you say anything about Graham Plattner, people lose their shit. And I think rightfully so, because leftists are always in combat mode, for lack of a better word. And we're always having to fight for our lives, because Zionists in particular, they have the daggers out for Graham Plattner. So you don't want to be like associated with these losers. And so all I ask is that fellow leftists see people who are raising these red flags as good faith actors who are just asking for caution, given how many people are bad faith actors that we've seen, and also given how a lot of people are going to know that if they want to be politically successful in 2026, they have to be anti-Israel. In the Democratic Party, they have to be progressive. So, and again, I'm not saying it's a guarantee that Graham Plattner is going to get in and do a switcheroo. Nobody knows what's in his heart, right? He could be Tulsi Gabbard, he could be the next Bernie Sanders, but I think that just allowing some level of nuance and letting us grapple with the possibilities that maybe he is a bad actor, or maybe we're just never going to be able to overcome the shit that he talked about himself in Reddit. Like I shared, like I saved a fucking Reddit post from him where he literally talks about killing people. I can read it to you right now, and how it's like, I don't necessarily enjoy killing people, but that's part of winning. And it's just, there's no feeling like it. It's like, okay, to me, that bothers me, because like that feels like sociopathic.
It's
like,
psychotic.
have you committed
It's
war crimes? You're a
literally
machine
psychotic.
gunner. Like, have you accounted for? Like, has anyone held you accountable for these things? Like, you killed people.
They
It
have
wasn't
not,
an
because he's the
adventure.
right man. They have,
Yeah,
and
and
see, that's my point. That's my point. There's a difference between a veteran that's like, hey, I served a tour, this was fucked up, now I'm speaking up. That's not Graham Plattner, respectfully. That's just not him. He has gloated about murdering Middle Eastern people. He has gloated about occupying the Middle East. Whether he's a Nazi or not, I don't know, okay? And here's the thing, like, not all Nazis go in the street and act like Proud Boys. Many Nazis don't even say that they're Nazis. Even the closest people with them don't know that they're Nazis. So in reality, we don't really know if Graham Plattner was a Nazi or not. Just because he didn't shout it out on Reddit doesn't mean that we don't know. But here's the thing. If you are in Maine and you choose to vote for Graham Plattner, I'm not judging you, and I'm not telling you not to. Actually, I would probably recommend it, because I don't want Republicans to take over Senate and have a majority in the Senate. Donald Trump has way too much rogue power. I'm not telling you to not vote for Graham Plattner. I'm just saying, as a Middle Eastern person who has watched the Middle East get occupied for 2 decades, like ever since I was fucking born, the Middle East, a couple of years after I was born, the Middle East has been occupied by pieces of shit like Graham Plattner, frankly. So if you need to vote for him, go ahead and do it. If you want to support him, go ahead. I'm just saying that my platform is not going to be for him. I'm not going to advocate for him. I don't trust him. I don't know if he's going to do a switcheroo in Senate. I hope not. But if he does, all I'm going to say is that I wouldn't be surprised. And like, I'm getting a lot of hate in the comments, and I can read that. But the fact of the matter is that y'all did not like, and not to pull the person of color Middle Eastern card here, because honestly it pisses me off sometimes when people do it in debates. So like, I really don't want to be that person, but it's like, as a Middle Eastern person, I have seen people like Graham Plattner, I have seen veterans like Graham Plattner dehumanize people like my family, and they sincerely, like, the people who actually change and have a good heart, I haven't seen it that much. Like, so for people that go to the Middle East and gloat about murdering people within the context of an occupation, sorry, I'm not gonna fucking trust you or support you. Like, what the fuck? So I just, like, that's kind of just where I'm at with this. Y'all want to support him, y'all want to do your thing, go ahead. It's a free country. I'm allowed to say my piece, and that's my fucking piece. I don't trust the motherfucker, and that's just that.
And that was kind of the point I was alluding to a bit earlier, which, like, this kind of highlighted it, right? Where we are all moving in the same direction. None of us want Republicans seizing more power, especially during these midterm elections, right? But that being said, there's still always going to be that friction because people's lived experiences are, at least from appearances, being ignored, and it's the same people's lived experiences always being ignored in order to like further the goal, right? Like Bernie, for example. Everyone was a Bernie bro in like 2016. It was like burn or bust, right? But a lot of the black community was like, hey, what is Bernie going to do that's going to make it different for us? Because we're always the ones holding water for everybody, but we don't see that. And we're always told, okay, this time you get in line this time, and then it'll be better next time. And that's been the learned history of blackness in America. That's not me saying that I'm not going to, like, obviously, yes, kind of like Arian was saying, I don't live in fucking Maine. My options literally were Tom Steyer, a billionaire, or Becerra, right? Because we can't let Hilton win. And I'm like, I don't want to vote for a billionaire, but I'm in this position where I have to do harm reduction. That doesn't mean I have to get out and platform them. That doesn't mean I have to go do door knocking for them. That doesn't mean I have to do anything for them, right? I have to begrudgingly vote for them. I voted for Steyer because I'm like, that seems to be the lesser of two evils. But I think the bigger issue here is, especially on the left, we are constantly grappling with the lesser of two evils. I think a large contingent of people are tired of doing that and just want to fucking win. So you see someone like Graham Plattner, and they can look past the tattoos and look past his time in the I think it was like Croatia, but look past his military service and the Blackwater stuff because they just want to win and seize power now. So like that is where we are at, where people on the right don't have to worry about that because morals and consistency don't matter. It's what you can do to win. But we are having somewhat of a crisis of like consciousness here, where it's like, hey, do we vote for the billionaire class that continuously fucks over, that's exploited us in order to stop Republicans? Do we vote for Graham Plattner over Susan Collins? Because even though Susan Collins hasn't been to war, she has voted time and time again to create the people like Plattner. And I understand that Plattner is a victim of the military propaganda machine. Just like a lot of kids from lower income cities, just like a lot of people in this country. I get that. But we also have to recognize that there are other victims out there. And so people who look like that do not feel comfortable platforming or voting. Like, we can't shade them. It's just like what happened in Minnesota. You had Kamala Harris literally telling people in Dearborn, shh, I'm speaking. And I remember saying that was such a dumb move. And I had a bunch of liberals coming after my neck on TikTok saying, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, that was a bad political move. You're in the largest Muslim population in this country, and you're telling them, shh, be quiet. You're not letting Palestinians speak. You're not doing any of these things to appease Israel or whatever, and you're not appeasing your constituents. So like, I just think ultimately Democrats have an issue of who are you listening to? Are you listening to your actual base who is like, we will support literally any other candidate? Or are you still trying to do that bullshit from last election, like reach across the aisle? And I think Graham Plattner, for a lot of people, especially those who might have been the mythical centrists, the undecided voter in this country, he speaks to that group, unfortunately. Well, I mean, fortunately, but still, like, he speaks to that group. A lot of current online political discourse is driven by white males. We have to recognize that. That's where the focus is. It's white men.
I mean, look at this panel.
Exactly. Like it's white men. That was the group that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. So if they can get someone who's Trump-like, but in the opposite direction, that's a win for the Democrats. No one's going to think about the what he did to get there. It's like, hey, he's speaking to these people. He's getting Maine activated for the Democrats. Hell yeah, we have him on. And like I said, ultimately, I'm for harm reduction. So like, yes, I rather him than Susan Collins, but I'm not like a Plattner fan. I'm not gonna like fucking go out and door knock for him. And I think that's all we can expect from other people like that. I don't think we have to be fans of. In fact, I don't think you should be fans of politicians. I think they are
stop
public
putting them on
workers.
pedestals.
Yeah, like I
Actually,
don't.
Can I just say one bit about this, because I know you guys probably want to get to your super chats and stuff. But like,
Yeah, go ahead, Kowalski.
The reason that I find Plattner particularly like good and valid criticisms on your guys' part, I'm not you. I do not have your lived experiences. I'm not saying you need to promote him. The thing that I liked about his campaign is he is getting more turnout. He is energizing a base that has not been activated. I live in an area of the country that is virtually stagnant. Our cities are barely growing. Our towns are dying. The populations are getting older. There is no dynamism. There is no energy. There is no hope for tomorrow. I have seen people like Plattner growing up. They are stuck in a malaise for most of their mid-20s to their mid-30s, feeling stuck, feeling like they have somehow failed. And they will grasp at every little achievement they have made in order to feel better about themselves. Go online to try to create an identity that you don't have in real life. Plattner has talked about how he basically does not feel like he had grown up until he met his current wife. How dating was always a problem for him because he also had PTSD and he just felt aloof. There is a loss of direction. And a campaign that Plattner has run has given people direction. His points or the positions he has been taking are very good. I think they give people a positive view of where the future can go. And I think that is worth promoting. I also just want to point out, as a general rule, I do not typically judge most people for lifelong for actions that they have done under the age of 25. Your mind is not fully developed. You are very susceptible to manipulation. When Plattner went to war, he did not know exactly what he was doing. The system tricked him. And to be fair, Susan Collins is the one who voted to send him there because she has been in that position for that long. So just from my perspective, I view that the occupation is more on the brass and more on the politicians that voted for it, more than the individual soldiers. Because even now, we have recruitment shortages and we can't fill the ranks with soldiers. So what are they doing? They're going and hiring mercenaries. A lot of these mercenaries previously had been from Eastern European countries. The Empire will find the bodies to do what it wants to do. So the only way to stop that from happening is to have people in positions of power that prevent those actions from being taken. At this point, yes, you can only take Plattner on his word until I see him take actions that go against what he is saying. That's where I stand. But I think it is completely valid if people are skeptical, do not want to promote him. You by no means have to. Just from my perspective, I see him speaking to a lot of the issues I've seen.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I feel like the discourse that we're having on this show is pretty reasonable. I feel like, not to toot our own horns here, but because we should be able to have this conversation as we do with every single election, right? And it bothers me that there's this knee-jerk reaction, especially with the chat, to attack Ariana, because that's giving Kamala Harris telling Palestinians to sit down. I'm speaking. You don't have to agree with what she's saying, but you should listen to her perspective because she is a Middle Easterner who has family on the receiving end of U.S. imperialism as we speak. And you should just have more respect for fellow comrades. And honestly, some of the behavior from the chat is really shitty. Just because, I'm sorry, you guys need to act like adults. Sometimes you guys act like children and you don't know how to disagree.
What chat are you looking at? All I saw were people supporting her. Or maybe I'm looking at
it was
not support.
When I was first going off, the chat was super mean, and then during my very final rant, the
once
chat
she made the point
turned around.
Yeah. And it's kind of fuck you guys. Are you not adults watching? You can't listen to her make her fucking point. And that's the same thing. I made a tweet about Plattner on Twitter and I deleted it 20 minutes later because I'm like, okay, fuck it. Very clearly people don't want to be nuanced and they don't want to allow for a nuanced conversation as they would with liberals that were forced to support due to harm reduction, like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. For Plattner, I understand why there's so much excitement around him because he is a charismatic figure. He talks about politics in a way that you don't often see. It just feels natural, right?
Be
And
more
also to
excited
boot,
for the
he's a straight
machine
dude
than the man.
who kind of defies this like stereotype of a weak liberal pussy who's like this intellectual snob. So I understand the appeal, but I just feel like, you know, to have so little respect for people who are raising red flags, which, and not like to anyone here, just to the chat, is frustrating, especially because we're having a pretty reasonable conversation among friends about like the pros and cons of Plattner. And again, I don't think anybody here is definitive. Like nobody can say with certainty that he's going to be one way or another. It's just that there's enough green and red flags to warrant a conversation about it in a reasonable, nuanced way. We don't have to shit our pants and start foaming at the mouth like liberals when somebody's like, Graham Plattner bad. We're not all Zionist dipshits. Like you're watching a podcast where we all express our political views like pretty openly. So I feel like for you to just like, Mike, you're being a lib, or Ariana, you're so like, shut the fuck up. Be normal, okay? Act like adults for once in your goddamn lives. And that's not to all of you in the chat. Most of you are based, but some of you are annoying little cunts, and you need to rein it in, okay?
No, and like, listen, I'm friends. Well, I just met TBN Gaming, but like Kowalski and I literally talk. Like, I'm friends with everyone here. You know, like, yeah, sure, sometimes we get heated, but it's like it's all love. Like, it's not. Yeah. I'm just honestly like I'm permanently scarred from Fetterman. Like I think
Same.
Before Fetterman, I
That
wasn't like
is
this.
reasonable.
I think after Fetterman, I just like. But honestly, though, Kowalski, like, here's the thing, though. Like, I grew up in California, right? I grew up in the Bay Area, and then I moved to New York City. So I don't have the lived experience that you have, where it's like it's literally Midwest. It's small farmer land, which is like a dying industry, right? It's like you've obviously talked to me about the struggles of being a farmer in Nebraska and like having a small family-owned farming business. So it's like I understand your point too, where it's like, yeah, maybe those types of areas do need the mediocre, might be a Nazi, definitely killed Middle Eastern people in the Middle East to really like, you know, bring people out. Like, I don't, you know, I've never lived that. Like, I understand the arguments. I really do. But it's like, at the same time, it's like for me to stand behind someone who gloated about murdering people in Iraq is just like, because I know veterans who are anti-war and none of them, they don't move like Plattner does. You know what I mean?
I've got one brother that's anti-war who served and another who's pro-war that served. And I don't have a relationship with the one who's still pro-war, just to like, so that, like, I'm not going to be more charitable to somebody who's not even my fucking own brother. Because like, I'm not charitable to my own brother.
But I think you're looking at everything, you're looking at it like very linear. Like, not everyone just comes out of it and goes, I'm anti-war now. And not everyone goes into it and goes, I'm pro-war now. People are complicated and they go through lots of things before coming to their final or their current position. I think, you know, you're looking at it as like, you don't believe him because he didn't come out of the military and immediately say he's anti-war. I mean, I think you're looking at a guy who suffered from serious PTSD, who believed something that he ended up not agreeing with later on in life, or was putting up a front to make it seem like he wanted to be that person because that's what he thought he needed to be. Again, I could be wrong, who knows? But I just think not everyone goes through this process the same, and it's not something that's just like, oh, I can't believe what I just experienced. When I get home, I'm anti-war now. I just don't think that's how it works.
Oh yeah, it's in a sense, it's almost like people who go to prison for a while, right? It's like you get accustomed to this world, and then you have to try to adapt to the real world. So like I'm not sitting here saying Graham Plattner is the devil incarnate, right? I'm not sitting here saying that Graham Plattner is a bad person, right? Again, part of my job is to understand people's behaviors, and people are complex. Like you said, there's trauma built on this. This is years of seeing people getting killed. That's a depersonalization. There's viewing people as things in order to kill someone consistently, you have to literally view them as not human. That does a insane amount of damage to someone's psyche. And then trying to rebuild that and be vulnerable about that is a lot of hard work. I understand that completely. Just like I also understand that for a lot of other people who've been on the receiving end of that, because they've seen that so much, even though everyone's unique, they have felt this pain so much that it's going to take them a while to even be like, hey, you know what? I was wrong about Plattner. He actually did change. All I can hope for is when he gets into office, at the very least, the things he campaigned on are consistent. So he's not going to, you know, I don't want to see Ariana get scarred again by having another Fetterman. And I don't want to do another Fetterman either. I think that's what
I don't want
most
any of
concerned.
us to see that shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where most of us are coming from, right? It's like we understand human nature. We understand people are could never just at the flip of a hat. That's what we call grifters, right? Like people who could just change with the wind. But I'm just hoping that wind blows in the same direction that we're all moving towards. And if if there's a little bit choppy on the seas, we can deal with that. But if it's suddenly going to do like a complete 180, then we're fucked. And I think that's just where people's fears are at. But also, I think you have like super chats that are probably piling up by now.
I know, my God. Who
Yeah,
brought up Graham fucking Plattner? God damn it!
One of the super chats.
It's so funny because the chat was like, Ariana did this when she was talking about birds, and I was like,
Did you really?
yeah, I was talking about bird women who date politicians.
Just remember, everyone, Ariana's points are valid, and if you disagree with her, it's fine, but you will burn in hell.
My man's gonna fight you. I'm just kidding.
And let me just say for the record, chat, I'm sorry for calling some of you cunts.
I mean, they were
but
being country though.
It's Pride
if you
Month,
are
you get
going
a
to be a
pass.
cunt, I am going to call you a cunt. And you can call me a cunt as well, okay? I condition and take it. But, like, you just have to understand that, like, when you all start, like, fucking screeching like banshees in the chat, the second somebody says something disagreeable before they even explain their position, which you now know is more reasonable from Ariana, it's really obnoxious. And I get that there's, like, thousands of people watching here, but you just got to do better.
this?
And that's not to all of you.
This is live? Right?
That's not to all of you in the chat. If you feel called out like this person, then maybe you were guilty, although I don't know. I have no idea what you tweeted or
That
said
person
in the
was
chat.
guilty.
Okay, well, then fuck that person. But, like, if you feel guilty and called out, then
Straight to
just do
hell.
better, okay? Yeah, you will go to hell, okay? And that also goes for the individuals who disagree with Ariana and my point, like Kowalski and Matt Binder. And also, you know, TTBN was on our side as well.
listen.
But, like, if you disagree with them and, like, harass them and bully them in, like, a cunty way, I think that's also that's shitty. That's Republican lib behavior. It's Republican and lib behavior. Okay,
Oof,
so
that's a double whammy of gross.
you're all of
Double
you're
egg.
the lib, you're the conservative, you're a fascist. So just be good, okay? Don't make me scold you. I don't want to be the parent of this chat, okay?
No, you'll
All right.
always be the mom of the leftist mafia.
I'll never beat that charge.
Not the mom. You can't even be the.
Not even the
uncle.
daddy.
Not even the fucking auntie, the
No,
mom.
Kowalski's the daddy. Okay. That tracks though. I'm
Any of
good.
you
I'm
call
seeing
me
it.
that.
I'm
He's not
seeing it.
wearing-
I'm seeing
He's
it.
not wearing his wife beater today. If he was wearing his wife beater, you would understand.
No,
It
I'm
was 70
seeing the
degrees out
vision.
today.
Yeah.
It was cold.
I'm seeing the vision though.
Okay. Don't call me Michael Mall. Who called me Michael Mall in the chat? I just saw it. Don't ever do that again. Don't you ever do that again. I swear to God. I will ban you if you call me Mike Malla again. That's not okay. That's a
Well,
level
Mike,
of
you
defamation.
didn't just come from a coconut tree, you know? It's
I'm sorry, Mike Mulla is from.
oh
God,
my God.
some of you are so funny when you're mean to me. It makes me so upset.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
that
dude.
person deserves a fucking a Grammy or something. That was.
Oh great.
That was really
Damn.
funny.
Damn. Okay.
All right,
okay, Ariana.
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna go through these really quick. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, when's the wedding with Kowalski? Tell Kowalski to move out of fucking Nebraska, bro.
I haven't found that yet. Do you want me to pull them up on the
Absolutely
screen, or do you
not.
just want to read them?
We have water.
What?
Then we got water? Oh, I think we lost him.
Yeah.
No,
we got
he's
the
here.
Ogallala Aquifer.
Oh.
Aquaphor, like the worst one too. Okay, yeah.
No. We have
When's-
the Ogallala Aquifer. Am I cutting
What?
out?
What
A
is
little
that?
bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Damn. Let me turn around.
No, we can hear you now.
I said Nebraska has the Ogallala Aquifer. We're basically immune to climate change.
Okay, so there's that. So when the
Also
zombies
fair.
come, that's when Kowalski and I will get married because apparently I have to. That's how it's gonna go. Yeah.
And I'll have them adopt me.
I would love to adopt you.
But you're the auntie.
V-Man, thank you so much for the $20. Hey guys, looking forward to the Puerto Rico parade. Oh yeah, Sunday is gonna be the Puerto Rico parade. I really want to go, but I would be going alone. I might just pull up alone, honestly. While I may think it's just proud celebration, the end of gag law 1948 to 1957, a bill which banned pro-independence sentiment, including owning the flag. I'm so sorry about that, but happy Puerto Rico parade day. I will.
Oh, that was smooth.
Yeah, I almost said festival, and I was like, it's not a festival. I will more than likely be there, I think. So, can't wait. Love my Puerto Rican people. Old Man in Philly, great to see you tonight. Mark Wayne Mullen, oh God, I hate his name, is just named for both cousins who might be his dad. Oh, that's actually really funny. I don't know why that took you like 2 seconds to register. Thank you so much for the $5, Old Man Philly. Always nice seeing you in the chat. Oh fuck it. Thank you so much for the $5. Nixon 5. Don Housen deserves a flow. They all deserve a flow, honestly. I don't know if that's the Spurs though. If it's the Spurs, they don't.
No, Danhausen is a wrestler, the one who uncursed the Knicks.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know that much, so thank you. Thank you for the $5. Asha, it's you again. Thank you so much for the $5. Press 1 in the comments to make Kowalski the 7th member of the NWO. I mean, Leftist Mafia.
Another wrestling reference.
Honestly, I would be down, but that's just me. Thank you so much for the $5. Fractal in Nature, thank you so much for the $2. Don't blame yourself on Fetterman staying in the game. No, I don't blame myself. I was just a mere filmmaker for a couple of hours. It just really hurt my soul. I was like, oh, this man knocked his head and turned into a moron. But anyways,
Ariana was integral to
I think he did mention you in his acceptance speech that specifically one filmmaker got me where I need to get.
That would really be my 13th reason. If I would never recover from that. If that there's.
She was like, I recall him saying I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ariana.
I would hang up this career and I would go become a barista. Like there's just no way. There's no coming back from that shit. V-Man, thank you so much for the $5. Ariana, would you rather deal with traditional racist or liberal racist? As a pro-independence Puerto Rican, I'll take the traditional one. Traditional racist or traditional conservative, do you mean? I think you meant racist. I don't really know the different tradition. I mean, I guess you know what? I think you mean like a general racist versus like a liberal racist. You know what? I would take a general racist because the thing about the Proud Boys, they say it with their chest, and I honestly kind of respect that. I don't agree with it, but at least you tell me in my face that you wouldn't, race mix and you think I'm, dirty. Like at least you're honest about it. I would prefer that rather than someone that.
I thought they were talking like phrenology.
Oh.
You have a Slavic skull shape.
Oh, yeah.
Peculiar.
No, you know what though? I agree with her. I think the in-your-face racism is so much better than the NIMBY racism where it's like, no, Black Lives Matter, but matters over there in that area, not
like go to your
here.
little corner. Go to your little corner, you annoying aggro woman. Anyways. Rick's America, thank you so much for the $2. Check comedy shows Desi Lydic Nick's commentary. Bro, I've been so fucking busy this week. I have not been able to watch 90 Day Fiance. Do you understand how busy I have to be for me to miss the episodes of 90 Day Fiance of the week? That is like my fucking shit. That is how I decompress. Okay, I haven't even been able to do that. So once I watch 90 Day Fiance, I will. Thank you so much for the $2 though. Asha, it's you again. Thank you so much for the $2. Summer Lee over Fetterman. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, she's
I love Summer Lee. I will say though,
don't say it. What are you gonna say?
No. I just think she needs to become just a smidge, a little bit more like comfortable on the camera and like charismatic for a Senate race. That's it. Like
I thought you were gonna say like I love Summer Lee, but she voted for
Yeah.
this one thing that like
I heard a
killed
butt
me.
in her voice, and I was like,
No.
Yeah.
No. I love her. I just think like that celebrity factor that Mamdani has, where he like can get on a camera and go viral. I just think Summer Lee needs to work on that a little bit. But other than that,
She's like probably one of the best people in terms of sheer policy in Congress, if not the best.
yes,
though.
sheer policy, she's phenomenal. But when it comes to like going in front of a camera, like she's a bit more shy. She's a bit more docile. I've met her multiple times. I don't think that's a bad thing, right? But I just think for a Senate race, like in order to really get like, you know, the Plattner and the Abdul Al Sayed type of like national support and backing, she would just need to be a little bit more, you know, camera facing.
I get it.
Oh fuck it! Thank you so much for the $10. We have a GOP accusing Plattner of shit that he's running against Susan Collins. Maine doesn't care. They like Plattner more than Collins. Stop bringing the uniparty voice. Okay, so here we go. Listen, like I said, if you vote
this
for
came in during the we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but listen, I just want to say if you're in Maine and you need
it, like
yeah, Aaron's like, please don't put me in this again. Listen, I'm just saying, like, if you're in Maine, please vote for Plattner. Please do it. Like, obviously you need to. I just gave my take on it. That's it. That's all it comes down to. I don't have to like the people you vote for, okay? Like, they're not celebrities.
Wait, you're not endorsing Susan Collins, Ariana, by criticizing him? Oh.
You know,
I am in fact actually endorsing Susan Collins by criticizing it.
That's funny.
oh
not
God,
really.
I hit mud.
Are you stuck?
That was really weird. The ground just gave out. I'm good.
Okay.
Good. We were like, there was the 2-second mark where we were like, oh, he's.
We're coming to help Kowalski.
Yeah, you're definitely getting on the plane, Mike, for sure. Not really, Rachel Atwood. Thank you so much for the $2. POC aren't allowed a redemption arc like Plattner's. I agree. I think he gets a lot of grace because of who he is. Plattner is an MGB leftist best fan. That hits home. Don't really know what that means, but
Michael Jamal Brooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which that's a great green flag. Huge green flag to me.
There you go.
He posted it a long time ago, not like 6 years ago, not recently. So
that's the thing with him.
Is a green flag though. So
he's like sweet and sour, you know. You just don't know which one. Yeah.
He's like the first stage of the irony pilled poster who you cannot place their politics.
He's okay. You know, Graham Plattner is kind of like the Onion, if the Onion was a person. Like, you know,
the vegetable or the satirical outlet.
I'm not following that
one. Outlet, the news outlet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing the Shrek analogy. Ogres
yeah,
are
I was
onions.
wearing like
you gotta
layers.
He's got layers.
I can see the confusion in all of your guys' faces. I was like, okay, I'm definitely not, but that did not land the way I wanted it to.
Because I was like, a Shrek reference from a Zoomer. I feel like it's more millennials that do that, so I don't know.
No, I was not making a Shrek reference.
I think Plattner legitimately is like the irony pilled poster who got out of it, but you look at their past, you're like, you see Black Lives Matter, but here you are with like a Totenkopf tattoo. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's like the average American voter, just the voting pattern. You're like, what?
Yeah, maybe he really is like the quintessential median American voter. Who knows?
Yeah, like he's.
This comment is frying me. I love how Ariana is fuck white men, but then crumbles little compliments to Kowalski. I don't hate white men. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways,
well, you should look what we've done.
You heard it from the white man himself.
500 years.
Not really, Rachel Atwood. Thank you so much for the $2. NY has Schumer and Gillibrand. I prefer Plattner, TBH. I feel you. Angela, thank you so much for the $6.99. Many of us agree with you on Plattner. The first red flags came out 8 months ago, and he should have been booted. But a lot doubled down on him. Yeah, I mean, when he's the only option, I don't blame people. But thank you so much for the $7. Oh fuck it, $10. Thank you so much. Plattner is a victim of the GOP operative telling an NYT Zionist that she was locked in his room until she cooled down versus the president that is a pedophile. I mean, listen, if you're going to compare anyone to Trump, yeah, the bar's in hell. Like, I don't know what to say to that. But sure, he's okay. If you guys want to vote for him, go ahead. Like, I don't like it's fine. I just don't want to like endorse him on my platform.
No.
Oh,
Everyone, please spend $5 to $10 increments trying to get Ariana's opinion to change. I'm sure after the 12th time it'll work.
Maybe this
time. Oh fuck it. Thank you so much for the $5. Nixon 5. Yes, I agree. Thanks to the wrestler. I agree. I think. I don't know what the story behind that is, but sure. Megadot, thank you so much for the... Huh?
He uncursed the Knicks.
Oh, okay. Yes. Uncurse the Knicks. Meganut, thank you so much for the $2. Thanks to you and Mike for holding your ground always. One thing about me, I'm a stubborn ass bitch. Like, I will listen, but like, will I change my mind? You gotta give me some really compelling facts, or else no.
I'm a stubborn ass bitch too, Ariana. It's okay. I'm trying to like.
Okay,
I don't want to be like. I voiced my criticisms of Plattner, but I'm not like making videos shitting on him because I don't want to be a wrecker. I genuinely want Susan Collins to lose. You know what I mean?
Same. I haven't made any videos on Plattner because I'm like, I don't want the libs to fucking be like, he lost because of Ariana Jasmine, who has like a fractional amount of followers on Instagram. So
no, a lot of libs don't like him. The libs are,
and yet you got Fetterman elected. So don't discount your power.
People still accuse me of like causing Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris to lose when it's like,
you're telling me, dude, there's people all over my comments like you endorse Jill Stein, and I'm like, please show me one post where I endorse Jill Stein.
Bro,
like,
I literally endorsed Jill Stein in 2016, but then I voted for Kamala Harris. I had like 50,000 subscribers. Okay, I don't know that had that much weight. Nonetheless, it still gets brought up, and in 2024, I endorsed Kamala Harris, although expressed reservations, and I still see people from time to time to like, well, are you happy with what you got now? You wanted this. You wanted Donald Trump to be the president. Like, you sunk your campaign. Like, they don't, like, directly accuse me, but they, like, insinuate that I'm secretly gleeful that, like, I got the outcome that I wanted. Like, it's just, I don't know. A lot of people have to be very binary in their thinking, and they can't be nuanced. They can't dabble in the gray area because, in America, we don't have shit going on. We're all miserable. So elections, we want to be on a team. We want to be happy. We want to cheer rah rah. So if you're not like all in one camp, people in the camp who are on the team, they might want you to be on the team and shit on you if you don't come on the team or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
Always that.
Yeah. We all have broken brains in this country. What can I say?
It's because of the food. Okay, not really. True. Rachel Atwood. Hey, Ariana, what would it take for you to endorse my friend Jeremy Whalen for Congress? Can you email me? My email is contact@arianajasmine@gmail.com. Email me his platform, but I'm telling you, it's not very common that I endorse people, so don't get your hopes up, but I'll definitely take a look at the platform. Thank you so much for the $5, by the way. Super Platinum Man, thank you so much for the $10. Hey, Ariana, you are going to laugh at this one. I saw a stream with an Iranian monarchist, Armin Navabi and Goldie, and they said they want to move to Israel right now.
That's wild.
I mean, it's very on brand for both of those people. I'm not surprised. I mean, listen, if I was a piece of shit with no morals, I would move to Israel too. They literally get IVF for free for up to 2 kids. They get very discounted school tuition. Their average pay for school tuition is $3,000 a year. They get universal health care. They get rent assistance. They get full pensions. They get full retirement funds. If you get injured at work, you get government funded leave immediately. You also get multiple days of federally funded days off. I think it's about like 12 or 13 if I'm not mistaken. Maternity and paternity leave is all paid by the government for months. for both both the husband and the wife.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
if I
hold
had,
on. So I just gotta like say a couple of words and like I can get all those
yeah,
things. Just go
literally,
to.
you could be a
Israel.
Christian Zionist too. Like as long as you're
This
with
sounds
the
like a really cool country. I hope there's no other underlying geopolitical issues taking place there.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
It's basically
So-
really
Afghanistan,
unfortunate.
from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Listen, if I had no morals, dog, I would be on the first fucking plane out. Are you kidding me? Those motherfuckers live nice. They live IVF for up to 2 kids. You know that costs around $400,000
Yeah,
in
that's
America.
actually crazy. That's really
IVF for 2
crazy.
kids, not 1, 2.
Yeah.
God damn.
Tigwig, thank you so much for the $100, Canada. Never stop being you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Oh shit, not you again. Shout out to Laverne Cox. Made it to the Daily Show. Love that for her.
Yeah,
For her.
I just ordered her book.
We love the Vern Cox over here.
We do.
The icon.
Yeah.
It's Jason, not Justin. $5. Thank you so much. At least Maine had more than one Dem in the Senate primary. Cory Booker, bro, do not.
Let's not do Cory Booker.
Don't.
Oh,
Yeah, you just
shit.
opened up a can of fucking worms, dog.
I didn't vote for his
Not a
raisins and
worm,
potato
that's a
salad ass. That's such a gnarly insult.
I did not. I didn't vote for his raisins. And dude,
Oh my god.
you want to know what's so fucking funny? So we were okay. I'm gonna close this on this. First of all, no one
I'll be right
ran
back.
against Cory Booker. So if it was like a Mamdani type of person that ran against Cory Booker in the primary, I feel like they would have had a really good chance. But no one. He went unattested. But chat, really funny story, and then I'm gonna hop off because that was the last super. So basically there's this slew of creators that fucking hate Cory Booker, and I'm one of them. I was at a conference full of political content creators. There were like 200 political content creators, and I basically stood in front of him and I started screaming at him over Palestine, and it became like a whole ordeal. It went like super viral, all this stuff. But one of the creators who is like in this same cohort as me, who very publicly hates him and adds him all the time and shit, he gets this random text on his phone on like at like 10 p.m. on a random Friday. And it's like, look, I got engaged. And it's a bunch of pictures with Cory Booker and this random woman. So he screenshots it and he texts me and he's like, yo, do you think this is a prank? And I was like, dude, they didn't post this. Like, this isn't online. Like, what the fuck? Who sent this to you? So then we end up finding out that it was Cory Booker's personal number.
What?
Oh, what?
It was Cory Booker's personal number who texted this creator who is like his number one hater. And I was like, we could do so much with this. And he was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. And then literally like a couple days later, he went public with the engagement. But I knew
Wow.
before because Cory Booker's an idiot. Okay, I got 2 more supers. Sorry, V-Man's $10. Thank you so much. As a pro-independence Puerto Rican, I have dealt with liberal racists who try to say Puerto Ricans are too brown and poor to self-govern without saying it. That's fucking disgusting, dude. That's so gnarly. I'm so sorry about. Also, Alvarado on the on the Knicks. Fucking love that guy. He's so great. But honestly, one of the most humble players I've seen in a very long time. I think he's a great representation for Puerto Ricans, honestly. It's Jason, not Justin. Thanks so much for the $2. There was a write-in campaign, but it was too late. Yeah, I mean, sorry. If you're gonna do a write-in campaign for against Cory Booker, you're fucking cooked. Anyways, lovely chat. I love all of you so much. I'm so sorry that it got heated at one point. I'm passionate about my people, you know.
Passionate.
We love passion, though.
See, we knew.
Yeah, guys. Okay, I love you so much. Sorry that my rant prolonged the stream for so long. But Jennifer, thank you so much for the $2 that you just sent me. I love you too. Okay, bye, chat. Bye, everyone.
All right, you take care, Yana.
Kowalski, please wear a wife beater next time you come on. I beg, please, for me and all the girls in the chat. Thank you. Okay, bye, guys.
This guy's it's insane.
Objectifying
It just
Kowalski.
seemed
That's
rude
not
to do
acceptable.
during
I
Pride
know.
Month is all.
You're right.
Yeah.
Take the attention away.
This is our turn to wear the fucking wife beaters, okay? Kowalski knows he's woke, he's tapped in. And I will not wear one on stream.
Oh man.
Okay, so there were a couple of super chats that came in for Rebecca. I just want to read those really quickly. Let me find them. And sorry, my mouse died in the middle of our stream, so I'm using my.
Oh my god, we have so many super chats still. We gotta. Just
we'll speed it up. So somebody just sent $5 to Rebecca. Thank you for sending her that. No message. Thank you to Old Man in Philly, who says you should read this older book, Male Fantasies by Klaus Thewillet. It's 40 years old, but explains what Trump is doing now. Thank you for that, Old Man in Philly. And I think I saw one more for Ariana. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, do you want to go or do you want me to go, Matt?
You could go.
Okay, I'll go as fast as I can. I'm using my touchpad instead of my mouse, so I feel like a boomer. I don't know how to use the computer because I haven't used this in a while. But so my battery recharges, I am going to be slow. Okay, ABS says they're going to be using flock cameras in Indiana now. Also, did you see the video game showcases? Which games are you excited for? Ooh, great question. I am excited for Valor Mortis. Played the demo, loved it. I'm excited for Onimusha. That was really cool. Also played the demo of that, loved it. I am excited for Lords of the Fallen 2. GTA 6, obviously, although we didn't see that. The Legend of Zelda remake looks... well, I don't know what it's going to look like, but it sounds amazing. Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in? I know TTBN is probably chomping at the bit.
Yeah. It's funny because you mentioned Lords of the Fallen 2, and I was like, the CEO of that company is a fucking...
Such a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a fucking douche.
It looks good. Still looks good. I'm not going to play it, but I'm looking forward to Onimusha. I played the demo. Also, Valor Mortis. I was really excited when I saw that from off rip.
Yep.
Also, obviously Wolverine. I also think God of War Low Face, the way they're promoting it, is probably coming out relatively soon. And then I'm an old school Gears of War fan, so Gears of War E-Day was like
that looked good,
made for me. I loved it.
Yeah,
but I'll keep it short because I want to.
I forgot about Mortal Shell. I also played the demo of that, and
I'm playing it too right now. It's great.
Yeah, I love the first game. Second game is even better. So yeah, thanks for the question. Next one is from Kenzie Page, membership for 36 months. Thank you so much. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Really appreciate that.
Hi, Kenzie.
Action F and Jackson says, ask Kowalski the effects of screwworms on grazing. Hey, Kowalski, what are the effects of screwworms on grazing?
It just simply means you're going to have to inspect your livestock more often. If you miss these screwworms for too long, they will eventually develop an infection in your animal and they will die. It will be a logistical nightmare for people south of the Mason-Dixon. But once again, those of us in the north, we have winter. Get wrecked, Southerners. Can't breach the snow line. It's honestly one of the reasons why the Midwest was always more productive than the South when it came to food.
Oh. Well, there you have it, Action. The not so amazing Jake. $5. Fun fact, Newt Gingrich is so loathsome that George Lucas named the villain in The Phantom Menace after him and Ronald Reagan, Viceroy Newt Gunray. I did not know that. Okay.
You know.
Interesting. I probably butchered the name Viceroy or whatever, but thank you.
Viceroy Newt Gunray.
Thank you. Thank you. I like Star Wars, but I'm not the biggest Star Wars head, so I fuck up the names from time to time. Okay. Cartoon. Got my tickets for the Odyssey in IMAX 70 millimeter. Hell yeah. Enjoy that.
Nice.
I'm jealous.
Also, Cartoon, you heard that the new 007 game is getting great buzz review and plan on getting it after I get through my big backlog. And he plans on getting it. Well, you might have seen me because we're Steam friends, actually. I've been playing it, and I really, really like it a lot. I think that IO cooked with this game. It's super fun.
I got to get to it.
I was... Great story, too. It's an origin story, and it's really, really good. Cartoon also says thoughts on the CBS 60 Minutes firings, as well as Scott Pelley calling out Barry Weiss for her handling of 60 Minutes. Depressing. I think it's a lost cause at this point. I think it's time to abandon ship. And it looks like CNN is going to be next because I think Barry Weiss is reportedly going to be taking that over. So I mean, we're headed in the direction that other authoritarian countries went, where oligarchs kind of like bought up all the media outlets and crushed dissent. Turkey, Hungary, and yeah, it's happening here too.
You know, CBS, the YouTube channel that gets like no viewership. Like I get more views on my YouTube videos than the CBS.
The CBS one, really?
Yes.
I know the Free Press is basically dead.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's crazy that we
I'm in
can
a Free Press.
outperform a large multinational corporation. That's crazy.
It gives me solace.
It does. It's cool, but also very embarrassing for them. But yeah, I like that fact. Okay, Octawolf, thanks for the 10. Got called a capitalist Democrat in a leftist group for supporting Hassan. I support that person is very online probably. I support M4A, worker co-ops, and public ownership. I'm a Dem socialist. Purity testing. Am I missing something? Maybe because they are just like a little bit more to your left. Like it doesn't have to be a competition. You're both on the same side. We're in the United States of America. We don't really have a leftist movement, so I think that they're being a little bit too hard.
Fuck, you don't like Hassan because he's rich.
Yeah, because Hassan isn't a real socialist because he has a house. So maybe that's why.
Socialism poor.
Yes. If you are going to be a socialist, you literally have to have nothing but rags on your body and live inside of a cardboard box. Cartoon also says, any plan on having Naira, a VTuber, on Leftist Mafia? This is the first I'm hearing of them, but I will certainly look into them, despite our aversion to VTubers.
Listen, I know Naira.
Okay.
Is one of the good ones. They are a trans VTuber, very big on trans rights, and they have been targeted by the likes of Asmongold quite consistently. Like he specifically talks about her and another VTuber named Huith. And he is obsessed with them, and they pull in. They're very small creators, and he puts them on blast like every other day, literally. Like he'll dedicate significant portions of his streams to go to his Twitter page to attack them.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
we'll look into it now that I have that context.
Yeah, she's cool.
Okay, Chemical Dragon, thanks for the 20. Very generous chat. Your discussion of genders in games was amazing. I loved playing FemShep in Mass Effect series and thought she had way better dialogues as a female. All my BG3 characters are females, including the Dragon Age series as well. Hey, very cool. More power to you. I was male shepherd, and I made him a homo because I could. Tej says, and thank you for the 100 rupees, I think. You're anti-capitalist. Why only engage fans through super chats? Why not answer comments from fans who can't super chat? Why is paid worth more? Because I'm actually a secret capitalist. And so, I don't actually believe anything I'm saying. This is just about money making for me. No, it's a legitimate question, honestly. And I would like to just read chats for more reasons than raging, but the reality is that like I feel bad if people send money and we don't answer them, and people send a lot of super chats, so I feel pressure to make sure we respond to them. But whenever I do a stream on my own channel, I try to go out of my way to bring up some chats, and even on these streams I try to highlight chats as well. But we also do a call-in show every once in a while. I mean, we've done it a couple of times, but like we try to let people just join the Zoom call. We should be doing another one of those, by the way, soon, just so that way we even the playing field. Because you're right, it does feel gross about like basically only being able to get our attention if you send us a super chat, and I don't like that, and I think you're right to call it out. But we only have so much time in the world as well, so there's that consideration too. So I see your point though, for sure. Chemical Dragon, I found playing female characters has way better playthrough, and I've done it in so many games on second playthroughs. Yeah, I feel like the gender of the character I'm playing doesn't really impact me. I genuinely don't. It doesn't really affect me. It's, if the game is good, but some people, they like being able to play as, someone that is from their community. I understand that as well. If you're a female gamer and you've only been playing as dudes forever, then it might be kind of cool to have, a female protagonist. Also, thank you to Tyler Hackner for the 41-month membership. God damn, Tyler, thank you so much. My goodness.
Loyalty.
Yeah. My God. Looney Tunes says, if you watched your local daily VG dose, it looks like Anna doesn't. Oh, Vanguard dose. Okay, gotcha. It looks like Anna doesn't want to play debate with Sam Cedar. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me because I think she knows Sam Cedar would call her out for her bullshit crypting. Nothing surprises.
Every time I think of Sam Cedar, I think of that thing he did to Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
It was. He's like, oh my God, it's Sam Cedar.
What a fucking nightmare. It's such a classic. Okay, man. Chemical Dragon. Thanks for the 10. I read that we're facing a potential super El Nino that will fuck California and Southwest with ridiculous rain and leaving the Pacific Northwest and the Northwest, including MT, my home state, with an extremely low moisture level. Yeah, man, I've heard that too, and I don't know what to say. It's so depressing. Just brace for impact. That, and later on in the year, maybe some wildfires during wildfire season. There's a lot of shit.
Stock up on rice
Alicia.
and beans.
That's good advice. You can't go wrong. It's cheap. Yeah. Alicia Free Palestine says, I love this multiracial left. This is how you defeat the white nationalists. Greetings from Chile from an immigrant. Hey, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I love that. Shout out to you and shout out to Chile. Another country destroyed by U.S. imperialism and neoliberalism.
We've got multiple versions of the whites here. The Pole, the Italian, and the Portuguese.
There's so much
variety. I'm here too.
Chemical Dragon says, I've got a 90s and 2000s nostalgia playlist on my phone. I do too. It's nice to relive the good old days when I was a teenager and didn't have a care in the world. A Day in Forever says, as Nancy lost, I won Dem primary and nominee as SC 47. Wait, seriously? You won a primary? Because I think that maybe it was you that I remember saying that you were running for something. I'm gonna look into this. If that's actually you, that's fucking crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
If you actually won and you're not just trolling, awesome. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Congratulations. Octawolf says, I was in DC while it was under construction, and I made me fucking made.
It made me fucking mad, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, thank you. I grew up in D.C. because I knew Trump was nearby. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a follow-up. It made me threw up, not grew up, stupid autocorrect. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, thank you for clarifying. Let's see here. The next one is from not Rachel Atwood. Tommy Robinson and Elon have instigated the riots. Yeah, they've been really big culprits there. The next is from Mr. Nobody, who says California rejected universal health care because they voted for Chevron Becerra for the general. He will be a do-nothing Democrat. I hate my state.
No.
Yeah, I
know.
I hate to say that you're probably right because he's going to be shitty. He might be worse than Gavin Newsom.
Oh, and don't even remind me, dude.
Man, these Pacific Northwest states are fucking up bad. In Oregon, we have Tina Kotek. She's our governor, and there was 18,246 primary options. So, of course, she swept because nobody knew who any of these people were, and they didn't really run campaigns. It's sad. It's really sad.
I hate this so much. California is where we live. Jesus Christ.
Chemical Dragon, thanks for the 10. Mike, I was stationed in Korea in 2018, 2019, and we had horrible air pollution from China regularly. Driving onto base, some days looked like I entered Silent Hill and couldn't see 50 M in front of my car. That's crazy. Yeah, that is that level of smog is really, really, it's got to be detrimental to your health. Although I will say that it is something that can be cleaned up, because if you look at LA, they had a shit ton of smog. And now it, for the most part, as far as I know, it cleared up. So
yeah, it did.
Yeah, so that is something that can be fixed. So hopefully that does happen, because of course, nobody wants to deal with smog. Oh, fuck it. Thanks for the 10. I'm in CT01. Our choices are 80-year-old John Larson, Tech Bro funded Luke Bronin, or PV endorsed Jillian Jilch Rest. I'm going to do what I can for Jillian, but the outlook is bleak. Well, hey, man, all that matters is that you try. Oftentimes, you have the worst option imaginable and a good option that nobody knows about. It just sucks. I wish that we didn't live in a country where every election is like, hey, do you want 99% Hitler or 98% Hitler. It'd be nice if there was a little bit more variety, right?
Yeah,
Mr.
give me
Nobody.
a Stalin or two.
What was that?
Throw in a Stalin or two, you know?
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Nobody, I ain't voting for Becerra this November. I refuse. Oh, well, then you must want Steve Hilton to win. No,
Yeah, listen.
I feel your pain.
We have to do it. It's painful. We have to do it, though. We cannot let Republican take control of California. Jesus
That would
Christ.
be devastating,
That'd be
especially
devastating.
a Republican commentator. Like, he's just like a Fox News talking head who's British. Okay, here we go. Okay, sorry, my chat jumped. Rachel Atwood says Bassem Youssef is defending Tucker and Candace. Yeah, I know. Bassem has been depressing me, but I will say it was nice to see him get challenged by Mehdi Hassan. And I would encourage you to watch that because I think that like Bassem Youssef has some pretty reasonable explanations. His wife is Palestinian, so he doesn't care if anyone's defending Palestinians. He's down to talk to them. Mehdi kind of challenged him on that about how these people ultimately are nefarious. Their agendas are antithetical to everything that we as leftists stand for. I would encourage you to watch that because it might be cathartic for you, Rachel, for sure. It's on the Zateo channel, by the way. Old Man in Philly. Yeah, that one is from me. Okay, there were a couple from Old Man in Philly. Thoughts on the third installment from Reckless Ben being shelved indefinitely? Thanks for the talk tonight. 8 is enough. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's a whole can of worms. So just for context, last week I talked about the Reckless Ben Lego situation, and part 3 that he was going to release was shelved because if he posts it, then he risks going to jail because the company has effectively gagged him since a judge granted them a temporary restraining order against Reckless Ben. So,
insane.
Yeah, watch CoffeeZilla's video because I feel like that is functionally part 3. He did a really good breakdown about where the Lego went, and he was incredibly thorough. He caught the CEOs in a lie, and I mean, you could just tell these people they're not telling the truth. But yeah, shout out to Reckless Ben. I think the series has been really good, and it's teaching a lot of Americans about how our legal system favors the wealthy. And I hope a lot of young white people are understanding that this is how the cops are, and that they should listen when black people tell them that the cops really don't represent them. They represent power and wealth. So this might be police 101 for a lot of young folks.
As someone who has a degree in criminal justice, he's 100% correct, by the way. The police are here to enforce the laws of the land, not to protect the citizens.
Yeah. So I really hope that, this is an educational thing for a lot of people. That's my hope. Aside from the Lego, because we want Brian to get his Lego back, but I hope there's some lessons to be learned. Emily Schmid says Kowalski reminds me of Reacher. Love having him on the show. He has such thoughtful commentary. Great guests tonight. Again, the Canadian boys were soft and dropped out early. Damn. Showing love to Kowalski and salt towards our Canadians. And just for people who don't know, Kowalski is in the chat pretty frequently, so they already feel like they know him, but he hasn't been like a proper guest. He's called in before, so this is his official debut as a guest on Leftist Mafia.
I do want to just point out something quick, though. I did just leave my tractor because I am done, but I am actually 2 inches taller than the actor who plays Reacher, so yeah.
Whoa. And the fact that you know that is, I guess, impressive.
I mean, I didn't want to mention it, but
I remember watching that actor from Blue Mountain State, and they
yes,
had,
I love him.
An episode where they talked. Yeah, he was. I mean, he's definitely a more physically imposing person. I can't quite afford those medications.
What were we gonna say, TTBN, before that?
I was gonna say I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm also tall. TTBN stands for the tall black nerd. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm 6'9".
Damn. Wow.
Good Lord, you're as tall as my brother.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I am very tall, and you can't prove that I'm not. So,
hey, as long as you're tall in here, and in the wallet, you're fine.
Yes, in the screen you can't tell. We're all the same height, basically, so it's okay.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Okay. Rochelle, thank you for the 10. My teenager, Shadow, they are non-binary, graduated high school yesterday. Congrats to them. Magna cum laude, no less. I'm so proud, and we are riding the high as long as possible. That is amazing. To get through high school as a trans person, that is impressive because high school is brutal. And just like finishing high school in general is such a huge accomplishment. So I'm glad that you guys are all celebrating. Good for you. Yeah, cherish it. Congratulations to Shadow. Hell yeah. Ah, the chat jumped again.
So they said Shadow, and I'm thinking of just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Millennials, we just have like, we have one, you know, we go to the same thing.
I was like, the ultimate life form is your, no.
Dead Marine 1980. Thanks for the 20. Very kind of you. I'm a combat vet and seen combat. I was a truck driver. I have several tattoos. One is a Grim Reaper with an American flag cloak. I'd say I'm a Marxist, further left than Sanders. Am I disqualified to run for office? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think that, like, and I want to be clear, like, I'm not opposed to any and all vets. My specific critique with Plattner is the fact that he kept going back, and I don't think that he has adequately convinced me that like he really did regret the time that he had there. And that's really it. Like, again, I think that vets can be powerful communicators against U.S. imperialism and militarism because they have that experience. Because yes, our military is indeed very, very predatory. And I have the same stance as like homophobes who convert to being pro-gay are like some of the biggest advocates we have because they know the way that, you know, those people think. So like I'm like pro-vets and I'm pro-rehabilitation, of course. It's just a matter of like with him in particular, there's specific red flags. And also, he's running for office, so I feel like when you run for office, there's a level of scrutiny that you get that normal citizens don't get. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not, I'm not the judge, jury, and fucking executioner in anyone's case. It's not for me to say whether or not somebody has sufficiently changed. I'm just sharing like my take and why I personally have reservations. But that doesn't mean that like if you're a vet, you're automatically a piece of shit or persona non grata. In my eyes, like my entire family is like a military family. My dad served, both of my brothers served. So like I'm not like anti-vet. I'm just like, I'm much more cautious about somebody given the way that he spoke about it and still speaks about it, talking about I fought for your freedom. You know, these are things that bother me as a leftist. So, you know, you're good. You're good. Don't take it as like a call out to you or other vets. Also, shout out to Leftist Flank Vets. Like they are a leftist YouTube channel. And, you know, they do phenomenal work. They talk about U.S. imperialism and colonialism. Like I think that's valuable in this space for sure. Tej, thank you for the 250. I think that's rupees. I don't know for sure though, but thank you either way. This is why the left will never win political power. 5 people in Leftist Mafia can't agree that candidate is a good human being and deserves empathy for being in a situation and can evolve. Hilarious. I think that you're seeing this in a very like lopsided way. Like my point, and I can only speak for myself, not Ariana and TTBN, is that like, yes, he deserves empathy and grace, but there also needs to be a level of empathy and consideration for the people on the other end, you know, of imperialism, you know, for the Iraqis. And that's the main point. You know what I mean? Not to beat a dead horse. But
and just real quick on that note too, like I'm not gonna take long, I swear, but like it's just like perspective taking. Like if you are doing the work to do the redemption, you also have to understand that not everyone's going to be immediately on your side, and you have to show the work.
Yeah. And
my whole thing was just like there's going to be people who are like that. So as much as you're giving Platinum grace, give those people grace too.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's a really great point. Yeah, absolutely. Octawolf says, my step-grandpa fought in the Vietnam War and 3 years ago committed suicide due to his PTSD. So that is why I have a soft spot for vets. Yeah, listen, totally agree. They are completely fucked over by the U.S. war machine. I talked about my friend. He was my coworker. He joined the military. He came back after, I don't think he actually saw combat, but he came back and he killed himself. Because you are just like left stranded by this machine. It'll chew you up and spit you out. And there actually needs to be a real attention paid to this crisis. There also needs to be a bigger improvement in like vet healthcare because they're not getting the mental health that they need. I think a lot of people, you know, they they don't care. They kind of just like push it aside. You know, you serve, thank you, cool. Now fuck off forever. You're done. We're done with you. And it's something that needs to be addressed for sure. Fly Chomper Fly says, Plattner has red flags, but he has said he repeated his service because he had no other skills. Plus, Bernie endorsed him. Bernie doesn't endorse anyone. Bernie's endorsements mean nothing to me. Bernie endorses liberals all the time who don't support Medicare for all. So, if Bernie endorses somebody, I'll look at them. I'll give them thought, but it's not definitive like this person is based, because Bernie has gone a lot more pragmatic over the years with who he chooses to endorse. He also focuses on like electability as well, not just ideology. In terms of like the repeated service because he has no other skills, I don't buy that excuse. I was like the quintessential person that was preyed upon when I was 17 by recruiters who were trying to get me to join. Everybody in my family joined, some of my friends were joining, and I'm like, no, because I don't want to do that. So it's like, man, I had no skills. I was working at Subway when they were trying to recruit me, literally as I was making their fucking sandwich. So like, you know, I that's one thing that I don't necessarily buy. Yes, it does happen to a lot of people, but you know, based on what I've seen about Plattner specifically, he was very savvy. Like, he was much more savvy than I was his age, talking about free Palestine, free Kashmir, and shit like that. So that's why it's like that argument doesn't really resonate with me, but I understand why people make that, because I think it is applicable to a lot of people who join the military. I don't think it applies to Plattner just personally, but you can disagree with that for sure. Chemical Dragon says, I have to push back on Plattner getting a Nazi tattoo. That's the dumbest attack to level against him. I looked up the pic. How could anyone drunk knowingly get a tattoo that the Nazis used? Yeah, I mean, look, it's not really the tattoo that's my main point of contention. His explanation for why he got it, we got it to represent our time in war. It's skull and crossbones. We killed people. That's like the crux of it, because I believe that he didn't know what it was when he got it. I think he probably found out sooner than he's letting on, and just chose to cover it up for the campaign. I mean, who knows? I don't know what's in his heart, but yeah, that's not like, the tattoo is not the main sticking point for me personally. Crimes New Roman says, great discussion, and shout out to my boy TTBN Gaming. Great to see him here.
Oh, Crimes. Thank you, my guy. He's also great though.
Well, thanks for coming in and saying that, Crimes. Also, Tigwig said, I think for the 20, Tigwig, so cool to see TTBN on the show tonight. I love it when my worlds collide.
Oh, thank you. I was waiting until I got some recognition. Jesus Christ. The only reason why I stayed this long.
They love you. They love you too.
No, this has been a great time, honestly.
They hate me, and because I was scolding them though, but they have to understand, parents have to be, showing
it's
some
nice
love.
being in someone else's chat and seeing them get shit and not myself. So it's great.
In some ways, like, the chat loves me and hates me at the same time. It just sometimes I'll have to scold them because they pick on Ariana because I think she's young, and I don't want them to pick on her if they disagree. So I have to step in.
You can't be a leftist and not have a community that actively loves you and hates you at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like, I'm sure Matt gets it too.
Oh yeah.
Send the hate towards me. I can take it. I was built to be this sponge.
Uncle Gumbald, thank you for the 5, says, face it, Mike, we need you to be, and you are, the Mike Mamala of the country. God damn it. I'm envisioning like Drew Barrymore looking into my eyes as I read that. I hate it so much. God damn. How dare you?
Drew Barrymore, I take that. I take Drew Barrymore looking in my eyes.
Chemical Dragon, thank you for the 20. Very kind super chat. I agree with Matt and Kowalski. Plattner was doing the best he could with the orders given. Stop tearing him down for that. He came back with PTSD. Him getting a stupid tattoo was a ridiculous criticism. STFU and stay in your lane. Well, thank you for the $20, but fuck you for saying that. I'm not going to stay in my lane. This is my fucking lane. I talk about politics, and I'm not trying to tear him down. Otherwise, like, if I wanted to do that, I would make videos criticizing him, but I'm not. I'm trying to like hold my fucking tongue because, again, I don't want Susan Plattner to win. So I think that you need to be more open-minded to criticism of Plattner from fellow leftists, because very clearly I am doing it from a position of good faith. I'm not a Zionist. I'm not a liberal who wants to see, Susan Collins win and the left lose. I have a vested interest in making sure that leftists get elected to office. But I don't have to turn off my brain and just, accept every single person who says I support Medicare for all and an end to the genocide. I think that, for me, especially given how much times the left has been fucked over and how much times the left has been infiltrated throughout history, I'm a little bit more cautious. I've been doing this for a long time. I've lived through Tulsi Gabbard after promoting her. I lived through John Fetterman after promoting her. And like Ariana Jasmine, I feel like I have egg on my face. I look a little bit dumb. So I'm being much more cautious, and maybe I'm being too cautious. You can argue that, but I think that saying that it's I need to stay in my lane and shut the fuck up. I mean, brother, I literally talk about politics for a living, so this is my lane with respect.
Stay in your lane.
Highway.
Stay in your lane, Mike. Get out of here.
Yeah, this is my highway. Bro, and
Mike
again,
built this with his own 2 hands.
Yeah, the amount of grace I give to leftists, but not liberals like Graham Plattner. If he was a liberal, I would never hold my tongue, despite him going up against Susan Collins. But I'm holding my tongue because I know you all are excited about him, and that's fine. I'm happy for you. I would love to be on that team and be excited as well, but I just have reservations, and I think that that's okay.
It's not okay. It's not.
God damn it.
Mike, you have been found guilty of anti-Soviet behavior. Your sentence is going to be rendered out, and you will be,
Just throw me in the gulag. Put me out of my misery. It's either going to happen from Trump or the leftists. Just one of you take me. Put me out of my misery.
If
Goofy
you
says,
go to the leftist gulag, they're just going to be talking theory to you for the next.
I know. I'd honestly rather not endure
Just
that.
send me straight to hell.
I took a poli-sci class, and oh god, just sit with it.
Bro, the conversations that they have in poli-sci classes. I remember, I don't remember what class I was taking, but there was 2 neckbeard fedora wearers vigorously debating the efficacy of AI government. This was in 2015. 2014, and they were getting heated. No, an AI would be better. No, humans would be better. It was before the class, and I'm just bro, this is not my people. Because I was, I'm a political science guy too. I'm I denounce, I disown, I condemn.
Neckbeards.
Goofy Goober Prime says, Kowalski, you're giving me Midwesterner flashbacks. Did you ever detassel corn in your youth?
No, I did not. I was fortunate that on our family farm, I was at the age of 10, was allowed to just run tractors picking up and doing hay work in the summer. So thankfully, I didn't have to trot through the cornfields.
Oh, my camera's being stupid.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my internet that was cutting out, TTP, and
no,
I'm
it's my camera.
Oh, okay, okay. At least I know. I'm
yeah.
Are people still hearing me? Okay, Cartoon asks, most excited film this summer and rest of the year. Oh shit, honestly, I don't even know. I haven't really been keeping up with what's coming out. I really want to see I Love Boosters, but I don't think I'm going to get to see it in theaters. So that's probably one I'm excited for. And I don't know. I want to see Obsession.
Supergirl movie.
Is that coming out this year?
Supergirl comes out June 26th, so yeah.
Okay, well, hell, I would see that, but I don't support woke movies. It features a female lead. So to go back to our former topic, nope, can't do it. No, yeah, actually, I like the other Superman, so yeah, maybe I'll check that out. Let's see here. Ah, shit, not you again. Where'd that? Oh, there we go. Kowalski, are you on Starlink? Shame him, Mike.
I'm on my phone right now, which is Verizon, but I do have Starlink at my house. They are not expecting us to get our fiber optic line for another year. However, I think Elon might have cut the subsidy program that they were using, so I might